with it, guys.
My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jakey boy and I are back. The fights are back, and we are heading to Paris, and we have 14 fights that we are going to break down. We're going to give you our picks, our predictions, our bets, and our DraftKings Plays for the entire UFC Paris fight card. But before we do that, let's take a little look back at the last month. This is 1 month's worth of results. 1 month. If you have been a premium member for 1 month, you had UFC 305, resounding success. UFC Vegas 96, resounding success. UFC Vegas 97, resounding success. UFC 306, his lock of the week hit. I was up money overall in bets, 11.24 units. Over 11 units of net profit in the last month. If you became a premium member a month ago, you got 11 units of net profit. 23% return on your investment. We continue to defy the odds, do well. It's actually astonishing how well we've done this year. So if you do want to become a premium member, you can become one now. Yeah, go ahead.
The craziest part is because I was down slightly on 306, but that's about to go to a positive win because we know now that Sean O'Malley actually won. Yeah, he actually did win that fight. So once they go through that process, and it's just a little bit of paperwork or whatever. Sean's going to retain his belt.
Just a quick appeal.
Yeah, you just got to show these are the strikes. Here's this is where it is. I think even MMA Guru put a video together of that. And once that goes through the process, he'll get his belt back, and that my bet will hit, and we'll be in good shape. So congrats to Sean and Still.
You think he's obviously not sincere with this whole because he first came out and did. Sincere? His initial reaction was awesome, and it made me like him because I don't really like him. It made me like him. He's like, even my mother was like, you didn't look like yourself. He's like, I was myself. And then the next day, obviously, I didn't lose. And obviously, he leaned into it. He exaggerated it.
He didn't lose, so.
If you told me it was 50-45, I would argue that less than he won 3 rounds.
Well, that's what's crazy is people do. That's what's crazy about the whole thing is people do act like he got dominated, and he kind of did get dominated. But that was really close to being a decision for him. I mean, it was 2 scorecards that were 48-47, and if he just does like he said, if he just did like a little bit more in that first round or doesn't get, that was really close to being everyone was going to lose their
I don't even
minds.
think he won, and we're not going to spend a ton of time with this because we're trying to. This was 2 weeks ago. I don't even think he won 2 rounds. He won the 5th because of because Herb Dean was insisting that Merab do more. So then Merab put himself in
you gotta work,
position.
Merab. Yeah. Dude, the last 15 seconds when Merab was just basically running for his life, I think he had already eaten that body shot at that point, and Herb's like, work, Merab, you work, you gotta hurry, Merab, hurry, go, you gotta work. It's like, what the fuck? Herb just dying for this guy to get knocked out.
No, it made no sense. But either way, I was up money on that event. We have been up a combined 11 units in the last month. Become a premium member. The bets are unmatched. There's nobody out there as consistent or doing as well as we are. Just straight up. It's $10 a freaking month. You're going to get this card. You're going to get UFC 307. You're going to get 2 fight nights after that. Jacob, do you know how many weeks in a row we have before there's a break?
I don't know, but I'm going to the Apex here. And those Apex cards, the 12th and the 19th, I was trying to decide on which one to go to. Those are both fucking really good Apex cards. The 12th is a really good one. That's the Brandon Royval Tyra from top to bottom. And then the one I'm going to is the Fluffy and Michelle Pajeda. And that one from top to bottom is like, it's like really, really, to me, both those Apex cards feel like low-level pay-per-view cards without the main event. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. Well, we got 9 events in a row, clean through Thanksgiving. 9 events, no break, $10 a month. You're going to get the bets, the picks, of course. You're also going to get tools. The Data Analyzer is a tool that we developed from scratch. I constantly see people, hey, I do my own research. I appreciate everything you do, but I do my own research. Well, here's the greatest research tool on the planet, and that's an objective fact. This research tool will give you all the data for every single fighter, all the matchups. It'll chart that data. It'll allow you to filter the data, export the data if you want. Look at it on the chart. You can even watch the actual fights, the film study itself by clicking the plot points. You're also going to get the Prop Hunter, curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. You're going to get the line movement tracker. This card specifically, I'm actually quite proud of myself, and obviously it doesn't matter unless I am correct. I picked 3 underdogs 2 weeks ago when I first broke down this card. All 3 of them are now favorites. and I had bet on 2 of them. So we'll see what that ends up looking like, and I might have gotten some incredible value. And that's what the line movement tracker can do for you. You can monitor that to make sure you didn't lose all your value and make sure you're on the right side of history. You're also going to get a DraftKings optimizer. This will give you the lineups that you want, need, and deserve for your DraftKings fantasy entries. And it'll be preloaded with the best ownership projections on the planet. And you're going to get more than just me and Baby Red. We got Artem giving you PFL, Dana White Contender Series, Bellator, all of those breakdowns, picks, and bets.
I did my job.
As well as the artificial intelligence. Why'd you just say that?
I did my job.
You did this last week too, and I forget what the hell that is.
Yeah, and if you guys don't mind, like the video. You know what I mean?
Subscribe if you are new.
We never asked for likes on this video, but if you wouldn't mind liking the video, if you're watching us after the fact, we appreciate that. It really does help like crazy. You guys like the shit out of my Like of the Week videos. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean that's deserving, the amount of time and effort you put into that. Even if like you disagree with the pick, like just the editing alone. What is funny is like when we first started this like 3 years ago, I'll sit on this slide. We first started this like 3 years ago. I knew nothing, right? You didn't actually. You knew YouTube stuff. I didn't.
I knew YouTube very well. I was very successful.
So I would watch all of those.
I was a machinima partner. So, and
that
people
sounds like a Jewish deli.
Well, people in the chat that know old school machinima, they're gonna recognize that and be like, oh shit,
Mashugana. So I would watch all those videos, like how to grow your channel and this and that. And every single one of them, it's a universal fact. You are supposed to say, like, subscribe. Like, you're supposed to have that call to action. We never do it. You do it on your Lock of the Week. I never do it. I never say, guys, subscribe. If you like this content and you want more, subscribe and hit the bell. I don't do it, but I should, because we do. Obviously, when there's week off, our views take a little bit of a dip, understandably so. But in the thick of it, when we got 4 events to break down every week, we do all the things.
How thick is yours?
Like this microphone, yeah, like that. Actually, this is the exact shape, essentially. Soft on it's the exact shape. The we're at 450,000 views. A lot of those people have not clicked that subscribe button.
Yeah, we're anyway, 30,000. So, did you want to read? I know that this is kind of pre-recorded right now, but you want to pull up
This is you say pre-recorded, then the people go ballistic. You mean the comment that you pinned? That you Jacob? I haven't read this yet. I'm about to read it. Jacob wrote this, not me, guys.
How can I write it?
The AIDS is getting bad. I'm in the hospital. This is pre-recorded. I've lost my legs. AIDS doesn't do that, but I'm somehow 90 pounds heavier. Continue to pray. My asshole itches like never before. So it's diabetes and AIDS. And I think you accused me of having Down syndrome a couple weeks ago as well.
Well, I didn't accuse you. The doctor diagnosed you.
I've gotten your medical records. These aren't accusations. None of the AIDS stuff is true, guys. What is true, though, is if you send something to this P.O. box, we will open it on the Fight Foods vlog. The last vlog, we had 2 gag gifts. Somebody sent a used SEX toy. And not an actual toy, just a prank. And somebody sent the most random assortment of crap from a 90s junk drawer I have ever seen in my life.
Well, you know what? And I watched that, and I was actually kind of disappointed in you because what could be junk to you is probably their treasures. They probably sent you all of their treasures. You know, one man's junk is another man's treasure. And they probably watched that video and were like, wow, these are all my favorite shit that I've been saving since a kid. And Angelo just laughed at it and threw it aside. He probably threw it away.
It's not aside. It's right here in the cabinet. I save every single thing that gets sent to us. Okay.
Prove it. Look, I told you he has no legs. He didn't get up. I told you guys. He didn't fucking get up. He fucking scooted that fucking chair over. I told you guys. He's got no legs anymore.
I got legs. Here's the random shit. Here. The Disney ticket from 1997. This Disney ticket.
That probably means so much.
Dan Marino card. I even left $1 in the pack. A Magic the Gathering card. This is for you because this is quite small. So you can have that. And then a coaster from some random restaurant. So
God did not intend condoms.
This was all from, I'll show this, but this might be his real address. I should Google the address. From Haywood Jablomi. So yeah.
Now say that name again.
No, I know what it is. I was very careful. All right. You ready to break this damn thing down? Let's go. We got 14 fights.
I thought we were done.
We're gonna wish we were in a little bit here. We have 14 fights. Let's dive in. Opening up the UFC Paris fight card, we have Bolaji taking on Christopher Duncan. Bolaji 9-1 in his career. He is 5-0 in his last 5. And he is on a 9-fight win streak. He's taking on Chris Duncan. 11-2 in his career. 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off that submission loss to Manuel Torres. And I originally broke down this fight with no odds. I always do my research and pick without looking at the odds as much as I can avoid it.
Wow, you must have watched my how to pick an underdog.
I did watch it, video. But we have talked many times.
Well, I think that was kind of my thing from the beginning.
Yeah,
sure.
Sure. Anyway, the odds didn't even exist 2 weeks ago when I broke down this fight. And I said, I feel like Bolaji's going to be a favorite. And here he is as a good-sized favorite. And I got to be honest with you. I think he probably should be the favorite given their last performances, but I don't think Bolaji is as good as these odds indicate. He is a busy striker. He does have a decent jab. He's got some good power. He'll pump that jab out there. He'll try to set things up and then just explode in the combinations if there's an opening. Takedown defense
explode, baby.
Takedown defense is pretty good. He has a really fast sprawl. Offensive takedowns are there, but he doesn't really use them. How could you go from sprawl?
Oof.
Yeah, okay. He does tend to slow down as fights go on, but can stay a little bit dangerous. He's coming off that win over Timmy Kwambo. And we'll talk about that win in a second because that fight has me thinking he's a little overrated. He's taking on Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan, tough as nails, dude. He does have some power in his hands. Never out of a fight. We've seen that guy almost unconscious more than one time just to sit up, stand up vertical, and keep moving forward like nothing happened. He's an accurate striker. His hands are low, which is how he gets hit so often, but he is willing to stand in the pocket and just absolutely throw down. He'll grapple. He's got 10 takedowns in 5 UFC fights, but the control isn't there. He's coming off that submission loss to Manuel Torres, but he was looking pretty good on the feet. He landed big. He had some success, and then for some reason, an absolute fight IQ dump started the wrestle, started the grapple, and ultimately that's what led to that loss. Made no sense. Absolute shit decision-making. But here he is as a big dog. And anytime I watch these fights, I have my laptop in front of me. If you've seen the vlog, you see the laptop there. I take my notes because I want to remember exactly what I felt the first time I watched it. Because when you go back and watch tape, you already know the outcome. And when you already know the outcome of a fight, you kind of see it a little different, right? You know what's about to happen, and you kind of see it a little different. Sometimes it gives you some clarity. Other times it'll sway you, and you're looking for things because you know what's happening. My notes for this were Bolaji is overrated, and anybody with a decent jab can light him up. So then I did go back and rewatch that fight.
Now say that again.
I said Bolaji is overrated, and anyone with a decent jab can light him up.
Why did you write in the chat, I want to sprawl and explode on top of a nice brisket?
First of all, I did not write that, but I would explode on a brisket. That brisket that Alex made exploded. The juices were flowing when he cut that thing.
14 fights, Angelo. Come on. Let's stay on topic.
Yeah, that wasn't me. Anyway, long story long at this point. I do think Chris Duncan wins this fight. He is going to be my pick. Not the most confident pick I've ever had, but he is insanely tough and durable. And I think he will pump that jab and stay in Bolaji's face. And if Bolaji doesn't have the early success with just being faster and hitting hard, he will certainly fade, and Chris will not. He'll stay in his face. Chris Duncan's going to be the pick. Not the most confident pick I've ever had in my entire life, but if this line continues to widen, I might do a little sprinkle, maybe inside the distance decision, no action, because of how insanely tough Chris is. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Oki is going to be the better fighter here. He's going to be the real prospect between the two. It's no shade to Chris Duncan. I think he's a good fighter as well. He is going to be my pick, but I'll be honest, I do worry about a few things. Number one, Oki is kind of a sit and wait guy sometimes, right? I mean, he'll have that pressure and he looks like he really is about to throw some fucking shit, but he will just kind of wait and he will wait and he will wait. And I hate people that just lose minutes because they're just not doing anything. And he is one of those people that will kind of drop. God damn it, Angelo!
It's the dog. You want me to hit him? Joey.
But he will just kind of wait and wait and wait sometimes, and then all of a sudden, if you do that too much, you're losing the fight. The next thing I don't like about Oki is he is very front he is very heavy on that front leg because he has that boxing stance and he wants to be heavy on that front leg to really fire that jab. And he's got a really, really nice jab. What I worry about is Chris Duncan is an ATT guy, right? And team ATT is team calf kick. And I have to imagine they're going to come in with a calf kick game plan. If Oki is just sitting there waiting heavy on that front foot, he could get that leg kick or that leg chewed up from leg kicks from Chris Duncan. But as a striker, as a fighter, I think he's going to be the better fighter. I've been real close to fucking betting them, but just those, those ATT guys come in. Sometimes they have a good game plan and they can kind of figure it out. As you mentioned, he is a tough dude. He has some wrestling as well. Oki is definitely new to the wrestling, but you can see he knows what to doing, or he knows what he's doing in the takedown defense. He sprawls with the double leg. He stuffs the head on the single, so he knows what he's doing there. And Chris Duncan isn't like overly dominant as a wrestler anyway, so I'm going Oki here. I'm thinking about betting it. I'm hoping maybe the odds get closer and I feel better about a bet, but he should be the better fighter and he should get that jab going and be the better striker than Chris Duncan. So I'm going Oki, but I haven't played any action yet.
Yeah, I mean, this is a classic example. On paper, we are split, but, if the line is here, we're like this. We're not super wide apart. I do like Duncan, though. We'll see. I do. What do you like that inside the distance decision, no action bet? You think Duncan can
Chris
survive?
Duncan?
Yeah, I mean he's so, the problem is he does get dropped, which is not great, but he's so tough and durable. Okay. $8,800 in DraftKings Fantasy. I imagine Bolaji makes a lot of sense for you if
we're not wearing matching fucking sweaters.
Yeah, we got like 6 of those comments already. Yours is cooler than mine. This is just some Under Armour zip up. Yours is like sweet with fake rips and everything.
You know what this is too?
Oh, it's a t-shirt. Oh, a hoodie t-shirt. Wow. That is some cool guy clothes. What kind of shorts? Are those mesh shorts?
Like that? These are the shorts I had in Vegas.
Oh. My bottom half is never, when we do these streams, I'm wearing the most comfortable sweatpants shorts you could possibly find. I'm sitting down. I could care less.
You see that though, right?
Your badonkadonk?
I mean, it's pretty. What would you rate
It's out there. Yeah, it's out there.
What would
for
you
sure.
rate it?
I'm not doing that. Thought about it. And I was like, there's nothing good comes from me rating that at all. Anyway, I'm fading DraftKings Fantasy for Bolaji, Chris Duncan at $7,400. That might be something I explore, but we have 14 fights in this card, which means we have 28 fighters to look at while building our lineups. If you do want to check out what the optimizer thinks, if you want to check out the bets that have been wildly successful, not just this last month, but this year as a whole, we have put up, I think we're over 20-something units of net profit this year. I'd have to look at the chart, but I just showed you all the data for the last month because when we talk about $10, we talk in month increments. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It's freaking $10. You're going to get 4 events. It's $2.50 an event. What an absolute joke. We do have a couple of super chats here. $1.99 from Angel. He says, free P. Diddy.
Wow, demonetized now.
Yeah. I mean, I think he has a GoFundMe on now, but thank you for that. Kristen says those brisket slices live rent-free in my mind. That is from the Fight Foods vlog. I took all that brisket. That there was leftover brisket. It was a full 10-pound brisket. You were invited over. I invited you over yesterday too. So actually, there was no brisket left yesterday, but I did throw it in.
Yeah, Angelo invites people over. You want to go to the pool? It's like it's NFL Sunday, Angelo. What the fuck are you doing?
I have a TV. I have a TV outside. We could have done all the things. And it worked out because I went to the Star anyway, so screw you.
Ooh, you love the Star.
I do love the
Star. You got to go see the Star, man. You got to do it.
The first time you ever visited Texas, Tiffany was like, go there and do a tour. And you were like, this is incredible. Then you moved here. So, yeah, the Star is sweet.
Do you go to the Star?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I mean, you can't shit.
Whoa! $1.99 from David Rio says, Jacob, get my girlfriend pregnant.
Send pictures.
Woo!
No, we got to see. You can't agree to this.
What's her fucking race?
You need to... Because if it's white, he's out, honestly.
Literally.
Yeah.
I don't deal with them anymore.
And then we had this comment. Ange's looks cooler. Jakey boy looks like a middle schooler with that hoodie. That is a medium, and he's swimming in it. Nerd.
No way she's Brazilian, David. There's no fucking way. No, Rios. David Rios? Maybe are they both Brazilian? Oh, my God.
We need pictures.
I'll fucking do it, too. I don't give a
We
fuck.
need pictures.
I don't give a fuck. You going to raise the kid for me, Dave? You raise the kid, I'll fucking do it. Like, if we sign a contract and I'm just the surrogate, and okay. That's no problem. I'll even come around with the kid every once in a while. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, sure.
Let's figure it out.
DMs are open. Next up, at UFC Paris, we have one of the newer fights added to the card. Jacqueline Cavalcanti stepping up on short notice to take on Nora Cornolle. Jacqueline Cavalcanti 7-1 in her career. She is 5-0 in her last 5, and she's coming off a controversial win just a few weeks ago. She's taking on Nora Cornolle, 8-1 in her career, 5-0 in her last 5 as well, coming off her finish win, her first finish win in the UFC. This is a controversial fight between Jacob and I. I was just standing there Saturday watching my daughter's soccer game when I was just getting hate-filled message after hate-filled message from Jacob about my pick. And I defended my pick like a logical adult would. Hey, here's why I think. And he's just sending me screenshots of data. You're an idiot. You're stupid. This is going to go bad for you.
You are fucking R-word. Thinking that Nunes.
I was going to say, I thought you were saying that that's not what happened.
No, I don't give a fuck about that at all. Like, you're trying to say that you think Nunes won that fight is the most ridiculous thing I've literally ever heard in my life.
We'll cut to the chase here then. We'll break the normal format. We'll cut to the chase. I am picking Nora here because Nora marches forward, stays in your face. My assessment of Jacqueline in the past and currently is she doesn't do as well backing up as she does moving forward. And I received a lot of hate for this, Jacob and others, but I also received some support as well. I felt like Nunes did a pretty good job in that last fight. She marched, first of all, it was a split decision. And second of all, everybody in this comment section right now and Jacob insists that Sal D'Amato is always on the wrong side of a split decision. And guess what side he was on in that fight? I'll wait. That's what I thought.
Do you want to hear this? I mean, okay, let's go through step by step. Would you agree that fight was only striking?
Yes.
There was no grappling, correct? It was just only striking. So would you agree that in a striking fight, what matters most is probably striking numbers? If there's no knockdowns,
I do not agree.
If there's
I do not
there's
agree.
no damage, it just comes down to a numbers game.
It's not I disagree. That's not true. It's not just numbers.
You think Josiana landed bigger shots? That's what you think.
I think she marched forward, which is octagon control.
She got fucking outstruck 2-1 in every fucking round.
She was
every round. 2-1.
Charging forward. So Sal D'Amato's a phenomenal judge, is what you're saying. That's your official statement.
It's just a bad argument. It makes you look fucking stupid, dude.
I wasn't the only one that thought that. So anyway, what we're arguing about right now is Jacqueline's last fight. The only point I was making was I don't think Jacqueline does as well moving backwards as she does moving forward. And Nora is going to move forward and stay in her face. And everybody's going to be like, well, they already fought and Nora lost. That was 3 years ago. I don't care. 3 years ago, so long ago, doesn't matter. What happened when Sean O'Malley rematched Cheeto? What happened years ago don't matter. Leon and Bilal.
Damn, you think that
people change.
Jacqueline is like Sean O'Malley, or you think you just compared Nora Cornolle to Sean O'Malley?
I was saying that I also did Bilal Muhammad and Leon Edwards. The comparison I'm making is time doesn't matter. Like rematch doesn't matter if 3 years have gone by.
It's a human construct. If you want to get down to it, it's made up.
Well, that's not true. The sun
time
goes
is made
up and down.
Time is made up.
Sure.
1 year, 1 month, it's all made up.
Yeah, the increments are made up, but time is time, and you will die eventually because time is up.
It's relative.
I'm picking Nora because
you don't know what happens when you die.
I'm picking Nora because I think the forward pressure will matter here. As soon as they drop that plus 3.5 where you're buying points on a judge's scorecard, somebody in the comments was like, if you use that one round logic again, shut the hell up. I am going to use that one round logic because it's the easiest way to do the math. But essentially, I'm buying 1 round on the judges' scorecards. If this is a 29-28, If it's a 29-28 loss for Nora, that bet still hits and I get paid, and I think that's a very real possibility. Nora, who was already on the card, who's going to march forward, she is going to be my pick. Again, confidence matters, but...
Fucking dumbass pick.
Okay,
Straight up, man.
Let's hear your breakdown, big
Straight
boy.
up fucking dumbass pick, man.
Let's go squirt.
Dude, if Josiane Nunes, my girl, who I love, and I think she's, underrated hot as well, fought Nora, she'd fucking smoke her. I mean, she would fucking smoke her. Because she's durable, she would keep the pressure. You're talking about this girl, Nora's walking forward. She's running away from Melissa Mullins in her last fight, was tired in the second round, got a Hail Mary little body shot.
Okay.
Hail Mary little body shot, right? But you're talking about this girl that's like pressing forward. She's got a lot of first-round finishes, showing that she can't really handle that shit through 3 rounds. Got a gifted decision versus Jacqueline. Got bailed out in her last fight. Bailed out in her last fight. She doesn't keep forward pressure. And even if she did, Jacqueline showed that she can just fucking smoke a girl that brings just nonsensical forward pressure. And Nora can't do that for 15 minutes. She can't take all those shots that Josiane shot that we're taking, because eventually Jacqueline finds the time and she sits on those nice uppercuts, and those uppercuts going to fucking rock Nora. And I know people have this as an over 2.5 fight. I would be very careful with that, because Jacqueline Cavalcanti, I tried to do both their names at once. Jacqueline Cavalcanti is going to start sitting on shots late second into the third round, and that over 2.5 can get real fucking dicey, because Nora's just going to walk into shots and get fucking lit up. There's a reason why they fought before. Jacqueline was like, oh, a short notice fight against a girl I've already smoked? Sign me up. I think she should be priced about -250. She's just a way better striker, in my opinion. And unless Nora finds some weird fucking bullshit, Jacqueline's proving that she can just basically run backwards for 15 minutes and still outstrike you and have no issues with it. So I think she smokes Nora.
So you don't even like the +3. You don't even think it's a 29-28.
She smoked fucking Nunes, and she's worse
That was
than
a
Nunes.
split decision. The
She
+3.5 would have
you
paid
got
in
fucking
that as well.
Yeah, you got fucking bailed out by a fucking dipshit judge at a 30-27 Nunes.
And then
it
the
was
second
It was
judge,
the worst scorecard ever.
It was a 30-27 for Nunes, and the second judge still gave Nunes a round. It's not as if it was one wild scorecard.
It was fucking 30-27, and you got bailed out by the judges. If you want to hope that you can get bailed out by French judges again, good luck. But she's got some bad karma coming her way already from a decision from Jacqueline. So
I do think that I agree with Nora didn't beat Jacqueline. I agree with that. I'm very pragmatic. I can see all sides.
Nunes would
I don't
smoke
dig
Nora.
in for no reason. Well, we're on opposite sides here. I'll bet you.
Any amount of money.
Well, I want to, like...
Any amount of money.
I want to bet you the +3.5. Let me do that. Well, because I recognize that she could lose, which is why the +3.5 makes a ton of sense. That's why I'm up money week in and week out, Jake. Because I don't do wild shit. Controlled Angie control. Boom. We don't have DraftKings pricing yet because Jacqueline stepped up on short notice here. So let's hope she was ready to go and in camp and doesn't gas and look stupid.
In
like
camp,
Luana
she just
Santos.
fought. She just fought. She was good to go.
Okay, what
Got the
happened
call.
to Luana Santos? Looked better than ever. Steps up on short notice.
Luana Santos is terrible, and I told everyone that she was terrible.
And
she was
stepped up
never
on
winning
short
that
notice,
fight.
Looked like trash.
She was never winning that fight. You give her 3 more years, and she's never winning that fight. She's terrible.
Well, either way, we are very, very split on this fight. Very split on this fight. I do like the +3.5. Keep an eye out for that. That haven't dropped yet. We don't have those props. We're filming on a Monday.
Cavalcanti round 3 finish.
No.
Well, good luck. I know that over 2.5 is pretty priceless to you.
If you do want to check out all the picks, the bets, the round line leans, and more, you can do so now. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It's $10 for an entire month. That month will include UFC 307, which is next week, and 3 fight nights. That's a ton of fights, a ton of events for freaking $10. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Next up, at UFC Paris, we have Daniel Big-Headed Barez taking on Victor Altamirano. Daniel Barez, 16-6 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5, coming back after a full year away. Victor Altamirano, 12-4 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5. He is on a 2-fight skid, which is unfortunate. This is one of the handful of fights that I mentioned on this card that when I broke it down 2 weeks ago, the dog is no longer the dog. Victor Altamirano was the dog 2 weeks ago when I broke this down. He is now currently the straight-up favorite. And I get it, and I agree with it. But we'll start with the Daniel side. This guy's a fireball. He'll set a nice pace. He'll go bell to bell. He's fast. He's powerful. He will throw out some boxing. He has some slick BJJ, decent takedowns when he needs them. He trusts his BJJ a little bit too much. He will chase some submissions, and whether he finds them or not, they tend to score well with the judges. But he will chase, sometimes fall off the back, and lose that position. He is coming back after a full year layoff, and that submission loss to Joffo Filio. Jacob is holding up Daniel Barez's fight-worn and signed shirt. This was from the UFC 300 memorabilia box. When you got it, you were like, who the hell is this? We had to look him up.
I said, who and the now, actually, fuck is Daniel Barez?
Wait, can you show did he stretch out that neck hole?
I said, who the fuck is Daniel Barez? And then I said, wait, maybe it's Danielle. I was like, oh.
That neck hole looks stretched to shit. Dude, look at the size of the top of this guy's head. There's no way it fit through that hole.
I don't know why you're being so hateful on others. Well, isn't that what got you in this situation in the first place?
Didn't you just spend 8 minutes commenting, pretending to be me, talking about having AIDS, but I'm the hateful one?
I'm giving people news?
You said I had Down syndrome?
Tell me you don't have Down syndrome.
I don't have Down syndrome. Dude, that was like when Demetrius Johnson retired and the voice cracked, like the most unfortunate time ever. Anyway, the other side of this fight is Victor Altamirano. Victor Altamirano's powerful on his feet, but also patient and calculated. His striking differential is pretty impressive at 5-4. That speaks to his pressure. His takedown defense has worked its way back up. It is now at 63%. But if he is taken down, he's busy. He doesn't accept bottom. He's always looking to make something happen. He's coming off a very close loss to Felipe Dos Santos, where he had 9 offensive takedowns and landed more total strikes. I love Victor here. I think he's going to win this fight. I picked him as a dog. He is now currently a favorite. And I'm on a lot of dogs on this card. And I don't know why. I'm not typically that guy. That's more of a Jacob thing. But I think Victor's got this skill set here. Yeah, he's got 3 losses in the UFC, but every single one of those fights was close. They were all very razor-thin decisions with one judge in either direction. All of a sudden, he wins that fight. He will move forward. He'll look for finishes. He'll stay in your face. He'll use the length. He's got the better wrestling overall. Plenty of cardio. I like Victor Altamirano. I think he wins here. And, I wish I did something when he was an underdog 2 weeks ago when I made that first video. What's the face about?
You're pretty high on Victor, huh?
Dude, if you go watch my video from 2 weeks ago, I was high on him when he was plus money. Now he's minus money. I just think he's the better fighter here. I think he can wrestle whenever he wants to. I think he could snatch up a submission. Daniel's not going to get anything done with that jiu-jitsu against somebody like Victor. And Daniel's the one coming off a long layoff. And Victor's a gamer. 15 full minutes of pressure doesn't stop.
Dude, and I don't want to try to be mean here, but Daniel's a way better striker than Victor.
Sure.
Really, this dude is basically like a shittier Ilya. The way that he throws punches, the way that he boxes in the pocket and shows. And I mean, he basically had Joffel down and out multiple times in that fight with fucking body shots. He was fucking ripping the body, got taken down and got submitted. And Victor is a tough son of a bitch. He is a tough son of a bitch. But when you are known for toughness, there's a reason why you're known for toughness. You've been in some situations where you had to show that you are a tough guy. And yes, there is a world, because he's done it before, where Victor does weather this early storm, gets to that second and third round, starts mixing in the wrestling, and does win that fight. I think these odds are probably correct. This probably is a very even fight. But Daniel Barez is fucking good. And he is going to be in this dude's face, and he is going to make this guy have to survive the early onslaught. And honestly, I think Victor at this point, I think this is a fight where he's not going to survive that early onslaught. And I think Daniel Barez is going to get this done. I mean, he's a really good striker, really good with his hands, the way he throws combinations. And, if Victor gets desperate with the wrestling, if he's hurt, he can snatch up a submission as well. So I'm going Daniel Barez.
I must have had a typo, because I think you are right. I must have typed it wrong when I noted that his face gets hit more than he hits his opponents. So that's got to be a typo because Daniel Barez does have, as you put it, striking like Ilya Topuria.
So he's a shitty Ilya Topuria, yeah.
Yeah, so I must have typed something wrong when I wrote that he gets hit 5.32 times and lands 3 strikes at that same amount of time. So that must be a typo.
You want to bet?
I'll bet this fight. Even money.
Yeah.
Done.
How much?
$100. $100.
Let's go 500.
No, see, you always have to be a fucking turd about it. $100. If that's not good enough for you, then that's on you. That's not on me.
I'll do it. I just thought that. Right. I mean, you were trying to clown on me, so I figured we just bump those numbers up.
Push it good. Anyway, well, so you're gonna have your buddy at $8,400 in your DraftKings fantasy lineup then. But he's almost Ilya Topuria. Yeah. Oh, weird. He must have froze right at such a key moment of this breakdown.
And then that's what, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I do think I'm going to stay on that Victor side. Obviously, him and I just bet each other. It's not an official premium bet. You will not see it on premium. This is a bet against friends. But if you do want to check out all of the other bets, the tools, the round line leans, Artem's breakdowns, picks, and predictions for the regional shows, the artificial intelligence, the premium offering is
Castaway
nuts.
with the enlightening comment, Ilya would destroy both these dudes. Oh, no fucking shit. Oh, no fucking shit. The champion of the world. You stupid bitch.
Also, I did notice, I was about to check the weight class, and I noticed that it says light heavyweight. Whoops. My bad there. Either way.
Maybe just his head.
Why the hate, dude? He can't help the head size. That's how he was born. Maybe he could change the haircut up so it doesn't, fade out and accentuate.
Daniel Barez in round 1 is plus 800.
Yeah, I mean, the year off isn't boding well for these young guys in these weight classes anyway. But either way.
Young guys. He's like 34 years old.
I meant to say older guys in these lightweight classes is what I was meant to say.
But you did.
Anyway, we're split here, but you should become a premium member. It's freaking $10 an entire month. Somebody sent an email saying, hey, it's only 1 week. It's only one event. And my response was, no, of course not. Jacob has had bets for UFC 307 up for over a month.
Well,
and if you go to the Evloev fight drop, but
God damn it. That was the best fucking vet. Dude, minus 145 for Evloev. Jesus Christ, was he about to fucking smoke Aljo? My God. My heart was broken. I literally already had like $1,300 or $1,400 on him. Like at minus 150 price point, basically, for all of it. Fucking Aljo, man.
Well, and I did point out that the data analyzer, the tool that has all of the fight data, all of the film study, all the history, the tool that you can use to add filters and export data, that goes all the way out to UFC 209. So that is by far the most comprehensive research tool. You can unlock that and everything else. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. Next up, at UFC Paris.
You kind of look like Darya. That looks like you.
The pouty lips. I'll take it. How you doing? We got Darya taking on Ailin Perez. Ailin Perez, 10-2 in her career, 4-1 in her last 5. She is on a nice 3-fight win streak. Darya, 9-1 in her career, 4-1 in her last 5. She's coming off that close decision win a full 6 months ago. We know Ailin Perez.
I was at that fight.
Wow, that's amazing. We know Ailin Perez by now. Some people know orifice, or other people just know how she fights. I'm in the I know how she fights category. She's a forward pressure wrestler who will stay in your face.
Did you see Merab in her?
No. Is Merab he's Muslim, right? Is he not like a
well, listen to this.
Is he not like a practicing Muslim?
The video is her she starts twerking. He rips off his shirt, walks up behind her, and as he slaps her on the ass, he says, "Can I touch it?" And he starts slapping her on the ass, and she starts just laughing. But he didn't even he didn't waste any time. Like, there was no "Can I touch it?" And her would be like, "Yeah." Rips his shirt off, gets behind her, and goes, "Can I touch it?" And just starts slapping her on the ass, dude.
Oh, so he's not. He said Merab's not a Muslim. That makes more sense because he doesn't act like one. He's very free with the ladies. All right. Well, there we go. We got Ailin Perez. Some of you know the inside, some of you know the outside, some of you know the wrestling technique. And while she doesn't have the cleanest wrestling technique, she will move forward and she will shoot takedowns and she will stay in your face. We've seen some performances out of her where she has nothing but gas for a full 15 minutes and others where she does tend to slow down but makes things happen. She is a nonstop grappler and she's going to need that in this fight. She's coming off that win over Jocelyn Edwards where I was like, yeah, this should be a close fight. Jocelyn's very good. But she had 6 takedowns and a knockdown in that fight. Ailin Perez continues to improve, and anybody talking about an OnlyFans fade, that should not apply to somebody like Ailin Perez. She's taking on Darya Zheleznyakova. She's a come-forward striker. I got there, honestly. She's a come-forward striker. She's going to throw everything at her opponent. She'll big, heavy 1-2s. She'll throw legs, body kicks, heavy knees. She'll wrap you up into a clinch and fire away from there. She likes to walk you down. She likes to outwork you. Everything she throws is with intent. There's no lazy jab. There's no setups. Everything is to do damage. She is coming off the decision win over Montserrat Rendon, where I also thought that was a bad decision. Montserrat was moving forward.
I'm sure you did.
Montserrat had
I'm sure you did. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
She had 3 takedowns in that fight and looked pretty good doing it. That's my one and only concern here. My one and only concern is we literally just saw a fight where Darya was getting taken down and she still won that decision. Pretty straightforward. And that could happen here, but I still think Ailin Perez gets it done. I think she just stomps forward, gets her takedowns, avoids the striking. Her control kind of sucks, but it doesn't matter because you stand back up and there's a takedown right behind it. Pretty confident in Ailin Perez here. I think these odds are fine. If anything, a bit of a discount because of the clash of styles. What do you think, Jakey Boombalats?
Yeah, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. She should be able to get the takedowns, and she's going to be more active than Redon on top, looking for strikes, looking for submissions, whatever it is. So, Ailin's a pick.
There we go. All right, yeah, that was super.
Hey, who gives a fuck?
Well, the people watching tend to.
Yeah, guys, so Ailin's got a real nice jab. Her footwork on her when she throws the 2-3, it could be a little bit tighter, right? She gets that right foot a little bit wide. But, I think it's getting real solid. She's got a nice boxing coach that she's been working with. And, the entries on the takedowns, good single, good double, 2 good trips, inside, outside trips. We'll get a girl on her hip and she'll toss her down as well. Keeps control well, right? Really good in the half guard position when she's on top. Really good keeping control. And like Angelo said, if a girl gets back up, she'll go right back on her. She's getting right back on those tips, getting right what Angelo would call a mat return, right? The old mat return for wrestling.
Right, shut up. We're done here. A Sharp Brother said, you sound like some MMA betting channels. If he was referencing just everything on the screen in Tapology, then that is every other breakdown channel. She is 5-0 in her last, just reading what's on the screen in a monotone voice, wondering why the views aren't there. We are aligned here. There's not a ton of fights on this card where we are squarely on the same side.
Only 6.
This is what?
Only 6 of the fights that are we aligned on. What did you hear? Whoa. What?
Yeah, but we do agree here. I also like the over 2.5. Ailin's money line and the over 2.5 are basically the same price, so you can go ahead and explore multiple options there that would account for a weird Darya decision. But I think we're good here. $9,100 in DraftKings Fantasy seems expensive, but Ailin is worth her money. Ailin is worth her money because of those takedowns, because of the control time, the volume, and all that. So I will probably have her in my lineup at that pretty pricey $9,100.
Oh, that's Rio crayons. We only agree on 6 of them.
Okay. If you do want to unlock all the picks, the bets, the round line leans, the artificial intelligence, the tools, and literally the most comprehensive suite on this planet, you can do so now. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. At the top, it's $10 for an entire month. That includes UFC 307. What the hell are you laughing at?
No.
Okay. We do have a super chat, $1.99 from the Combat Chameleon. Don't join the Discord and complain about Jacob's take. I don't know if that is.
Oh, that guy was. There was a guy that came in today, and I was like talking to somebody else or something. I was like, I was talking about the co-main event. I was talking about the Brendan Allen fight, and we'll break down later. But I basically said, like, if I was game planning for Brendan Allen, I would do this, and he replied, he's like, dude, why are you acting like you're fighting him? I was like, what do you mean? I was like, this is a game plan. And he was like, just turning like complete troll. And I was like, dude, I was like, why are you here? He's like, I want to have MMA discussions. I was like, well, you're in our fucking Discord and you're just trying to troll. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And interrupted an MMA discussion to say, stop talking.
And he was there for like 2 hours and he just fucking left the Discord. So I was like, all right, well, fucking. You used to call me on my cell phone.
Okay, there's 14 fights. Next up at UFC Paris, we have the latest edition, the newest fight on the card. This was just announced a few days ago. We got Taylor Lapilus taking on Vince Morales. They went back to the regional scene. They scrapped that dude up from the floor and said, here's your second chance at the UFC. And he's taking it, and as he should. It's a tough road, though, because he's taking on Taylor Lapilus, 20-4 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming out with that decision win over Cody Stamann. Vince, 16-7 in his career. He is 5-0 in his last 5. But that 5-fight win streak is coming off the regional scene. Taylor's a fantastic kickboxer, a technical striker, incredible footwork, does a really good job working in and out of the range. He'll pop in, he'll attack, and he'll be gone before any of your counters find their way. When he's out of the pocket, he'll keep that range. He'll wait. When he's in the pocket, he will strike, but he doesn't hang out too long. He's not here for a brawl. He's trying to pick you apart at distance. Taking him down is going to be your path to victory, but he's got very good takedown defense, and he does a really good job defending the takedown. He stuffs your head. He widens his hips. He doesn't do any little pitter-patter nonsense on the side. And he's coming off that win over Cody Stamann, where the striking volume was actually more impressive than we had seen from him in the past. And obviously the takedown defense was there as well. Taking on Vince Morales. He's a decent striker, good boxer. Makes up for any technical gaps with just forward pressure and grit. He's always moving. He's always working something. He's got legit power in his hands, but he does tend to go to that often. He headhunts a little bit and tries to find that power. He can fizzle out as the round goes on, and he was cut in 2022, but he racked up 5 wins in the regional scene with 5 finishes, and now here he is on short notice. Is that me? Are you doing an impression of me?
I'm just sitting here, man.
Yeah, I bet. Brand new fight. Short notice for both of them. Somebody said, well, Taylor was always expecting to be on this card. But I couldn't find a single thing anywhere on the entire internet talking about Taylor being on this card. I'm watching you. I can see you. I'm picking Taylor. He should be too technical. The footwork should be too good. I think Vince Morales is going to be swinging at air, trying to headhunt. And Taylor's just too good, too fast, too good at footwork. In and out before any of those big looping punches get anywhere. Taylor's going to be the pick. My only concern is if Vince Morales shows up looking like Yusuf Zalal did after he was cut and then got some regional experience and came
little
back.
PTSD.
A little bit.
Little PTSD from Big NGP with the AID. No sex.
What the fuck?
Still got the herps.
Can we get
no
burps? Prediction?
Little bit of a squirts.
All right.
Yeah, Taylor, excuse me, I'm trying to get my prediction. Yeah, Taylor's going to be the pick. He should be the better fighter here, but I'll tell you this, and it's kind of like what Angelo alluded to, but I'll be a little bit more specific with it. These second chance guys, when they get those second chances at the UFC, they realize being in those regional scenes kind of what they were missing. And when they work their way back, especially the way he's worked his way back, right? He's getting finishes, he's doing what he needs to do. Had the Peruvian necktie a few weeks ago, really, really rare finish. He's doing what he needs to do. When they get second chances, especially against a guy like Taylor, who is a decision fighter for the most part, right? And the way that he kind of does drop rounds sometimes and drops fights is getting out wrestled. I wouldn't be surprised here if Vince comes in, gets a couple takedowns late in a couple rounds, and all of a sudden people with these minus 375 tickets are being like, he won, right? Like, when they're waiting for that decision, they're like, I think he won, right? I mean, the live odds had him like -4, -500, because Taylor will just kind of sit around and wait, and he's not a high-volume guy. And if Vince is able to kind of sneak in a couple of these takedowns with pressure, this fight could get really fucking interesting, because Vince isn't a fucking bum, and he is one of those second-chance guys. He knows this is a monster opportunity for him. So I'm picking Taylor. I'm not betting Taylor. He should win. But Vince could make this interesting.
Yeah, I actually I agree with you. Same thing. I've picked Taylor. BetOnline has him locked. Can't parlay him yet, and that might have saved me actually from a parlay or two. But
I actually almost put him in a, and I did the same thing. I almost put on a parlay, and it was like it was going to be like a should win parlay. Like he should win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to throw up 3.5 units to get back a unit.
I was going to throw him in a parlay with a round over, and then it was locked. So I was like, all right, maybe it's saving me from myself here. Taylor should win. But Vince is dangerous, but I honestly think it's Vince's danger that's the problem. He knows he's dangerous, and he's going to headhunt, and Taylor's just too technical to headhunt.
He ain't going to do that. He probably makes it into wrestling. He probably going to make it into wrestling.
Well, Cody Taman's tried, and that didn't work. So we're both aligned here. We think
Cody Taman's a little bitch boy.
Okay. Why? What did he do to you?
I
bet he's taller than. I bet he's taller than you too.
No, he's not.
Okay,
none of these fighters are.
Yeah, 0 of them. Cody Stamen height. Let's see what we got here.
I think he's
5'7". Yeah, okay. So you guys are the same height. What an absolute joke. What an absolute joke.
There's pictures of us at the vlog where I'm literally taller than you.
That doesn't exist unless there's depth issues.
We're standing next to each other at the fucking opening boxes, and I'm taller than you.
It's just not possible.
Okay, let me give me about 3 minutes here.
Your statement is that you're taller than me in real life. That's your statement?
Literally in these videos, okay. I am standing directly next to you, not on a chair, and I am taller than you.
We could just pull up the fight where we fought each other, and it's pretty obvious how that's going.
By the way, I watched a couple clips from that because somebody was like trying to it's funny when people try to trash talk me about that. It's like, how can you trash talk me? I'm a guy with no fight experience that went in and fought a guy 175 pounds heavier than me and fucking just handled business. Like I did what I needed to do to get. It was a close decision. And then I was watching this back of when I got that single on you. And it's like,
you know what's so funny?
You really panic after this. Look at you, like, and then you had to use all your weight to try and throw me. Like, look at this. I get the easy single, and you go, I'll try to throw, couldn't get the throw.
All that was getting your head to the inside of my body.
Look at look at her just freaking out, panicking. But look how easy I got to that single, and then you just start flailing around.
That's not you know what's so funny? Here's a real reference for you. I'm not gonna say anybody's names. Put that down. What's funny is
the ease at which I got to that single is concerning.
It is concerning. So my neighbor, put that down so I could talk. I need to see your face. My neighbor brought this up today, and I'll explain how.
And here's my defended takedown as well. There's the little grab there, easy defended takedown. Okay, I'll play back. Ready? Look, boom. Grab my ankle. Nope. Nice little sprawl. Or back.
He's showing clips. He was submitted twice in 3 minutes. Like showing these clips, what is that doing?
Look how you have to press off your knee to stand up. Look at this. Look at me, back up to the feet.
Casual.
Look how quickly I get back to my feet. Boom, I'm ready to go. You can almost hear you just. Look at this.
Yeah. The editing doesn't show Jacob demanding more time between rounds because he was too freaking tired. Anyway, put that down so I can tell this quick story. Yeah, no, you look fan. I'll run it back tomorrow. I'll run it back as soon as we're done filming. Tough guy. Anyway, I hung out with some people yesterday, a couple people from the gym I go to, and it came up. Somebody said they could, exact words were, toss me on my head. And I was like, 0% chance. There's just no, absolutely no shot that's possible. You could do that. And he's like 100%. I did it to this other person. And I was like, who is that? And then I had to pull up a picture to see who it was. I was like, I tossed that dude too. Who cares? And he's like, I would too. I was like, no, it's not going to happen. So now Wednesday morning at 5:30 in the morning, I'm going to go to the gym and we're going to do it and see. I don't even know what the competition is because the debate wasn't, can I take this person down here? The debate was, they said they could toss me. And I was like, dude, there's no shot. So I don't even know what's going to happen. But I told my neighbor, I was like, all right, Wednesday morning, I got a little takedown competition. And my neighbor, the one that you went to school with. No. The one that went to school with, well, maybe.
Content.
And then,
I know one in the chat if you want Angelo to film that.
If it was like on a vlog week, I mean, whatever, maybe. Anyway, the neighbor goes, didn't Jacob almost take you down in that fight? And I was like, he shot a takedown while we were kickboxing. He was like, no, I thought he was like, shut up,
easily
guys.
got that single.
Where's the support, idiots?
That literally I just showed. Yeah, I got a single and
Yeah.
The funniest part is I literally got the single, and then I literally, in my head, went, what do I do now?
Well, you went into the wall. You got launched. What isn't shown in the rest of that clip is you.
Yeah, it took you 3 tries with a 150-pound weight advantage to toss me into the wall, Angelo. Nice job. Yeah, nice job. This literally, look how many times you tried to toss me. Boom, one there.
That's not the toss.
There's another one there. Failed that one. Literally, look.
This is on loop.
Boom. There's one, and then there's a failed one as well.
The first one isn't a toss attempt. That's shoving your head inside the body so I can do the hip toss.
200 pounds heavier. Look at this guy flail here. Okay, now it's focused. Right. Ready?
Yeah.
There's the second one here. Ready? Single. Boom. Try to toss. Oh, tried a little. Oh, and then
Okay. No, your skills are amazing, and we should run it back. Let's run it back. We should do it live. Now that we have all the equipment, I've got all the film.
We'll do it live.
Why not? It'd be crazy not to. I've got all the filming equipment.
Let's do it at Charles thing.
So do you. Okay. Even better.
I want you in a leotard.
Well, we're not going to do that, but I'm happy to.
I want to see that package.
I'm happy to do it live. And Bet openly said if we do it live, if it's pre-recorded, we can't. But Bet openly said if we do it live, they can throw odds on there, and I'd be a minus 1,000 favorite.
No, that wasn't Bo Nickel. It was me, but I've gotten that before.
Same hair. All right, we got to move on. An hour into this. Next up, at UFC Paris, we have the biggest favorite on the entire card, Ludovit Klein, taking on Roosevelt Roberts. Ludovit Klein, 22-4 in his career, 4-0-1 in his last 5. He's coming off the destruction of Thiago Moises. He's taking on Roosevelt Roberts. 12-4 in his career, 2-2-1 in his last 5, coming off that submission loss last year. Ludovit just keeps getting fights like this, like random names and short notice type guys. And this is like the 3rd time in his last 4 fights that he's been a bigger favorite than minus 600. But he does show up, and the moment's never too big for him. He makes adjustments. He's a very good, clean striker who can be dangerous. But if the striking's not going the way he wants it to, like when he fought Ignacio Bahamondes, he worked in the takedowns. He can make those adjustments. He's very good everywhere. He's very dangerous, and he is just sneakily getting quality wins. The way that he beat the absolute shit out of a UFC veteran like Thiago Moises was impressive, and this is a big step down. And I'm not trying to slight Roosevelt Roberts here. He is a talented guy. He's been in and out of the UFC since 2018. He does have some okay wins, but for the most part, he's got a long jab. He'll set up long kicks. Offensive submissions are there, but we can see him pull guard. He will jump guillotine every now and then. Overall, he is dangerous, but he can be a little bit chinny. He can be taken down, and he relies on that length. That length isn't going to matter here. Ludovit Klein is just too good, too technical, great everywhere. The value, though, is long gone at minus 900, but that is probably what these odds should be. Ludovit Klein is the very confident pick. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, Ludovit Klein should win this fight. He just should be the better fighter. I always say when Ludovit Klein we're doing a breakdown that I was the first believer of Ludovit Klein. He is the greatest lock of the week of all time at plus 375 versus Mason Jones, and I picked him as lock of the week, and everyone's like, dude, Mason Jones. So I was the very first person that ever liked Ludovit Klein, even before his mother, before his father, before his siblings, before his coach. I was the first believer in Ludovit Klein, and I continue to be a believer to this day. He's fucking good, man. He's fucking good, man. I mean, he can wrestle. He can throw them kicks. He can throw them hands. He does some bitch.
Yeah, he's literally good everywhere, and he's tough. Somebody did comment, Ludovit negative fight IQ. How? When have we seen him make terrible decisions? In that fight with Ignacio, he switched. He's like, this reach is a problem. Starts wrestling. Like, that seems like pretty solid fight IQ to me. What the hell are people talking about?
Where's he from? Slovakia?
I don't know. People love the flags on here because when I do my video and I don't have the odds or the flag, people are like, I need the flag. It's like, do you really
Hey, he's from Slovakia, man. You ever seen Hostel?
I have. I don't remember it, though.
Slovakia.
Either way, we are very, very aligned on this fight. $9,600 in DraftKings Fantasy. I think I will spend that money. I think there's a finish here and certainly some solid activity on the feet.
Mike Trezano, remember him?
You can get a drop or two. Dude, look at this. This dude said he dropped Bahamondes and went into guard. He lost to Herbert getting elbowed in. Dude, You're quoting he won. All right, you're fucking gone. I'm gonna deal with this fucking idiot. Goodbye. I'm not gonna argue with you. Anyway, Ludovit Klein, very confident pick on both of our sides. No bets though. Those odds are not at these odds. A couple weeks ago when he was in the minus 400, minus 500, fine. Minus 900 doesn't make any sense. WeWantPicks.com. Click. Become a member at the top. It's only $10 for an entire month. You're going to get picks, bets, round line leans, and more for that $10 over 4 events. Next up, at UFC Paris, we have Oumar Sy taking on Jung. Oumar Sy undefeated at 10-0. He's got 8 career stoppages in those 10 wins. He's taking on Jung. 2-3 in his last 5. He is on an unfortunate 3-fight skid. This is absolutely a build-em-up situation. The UFC is trying to turn Oumar Sy into a superstar, and they just might do that. He's an absolute beast. A walking highlight reel of not only knockouts, but submissions as well. Big slams, big explosive actions. He can strike, he can grapple. He is most dangerous as a striker, though, but the takedowns that we've been seeing from him in the UFC have been pretty impressive. 8 finishes in his 10 wins, so I had to go back. He doesn't have any losses to watch. I do like seeing the losses. There were no losses. Why are you doing that?
Oh, Billy. Oh, Billy.
Nobody in this is named Billy. Why would you do that? Why? Like nobody. There's nothing on this screen or any words that came out of my mouth that would trigger that for a normal, of sound mind person. Oumar Sy has 2 fights that weren't a finish. So I went out of my way to watch them because he doesn't have any losses. And if there's not a loss to watch, then let me see which fight went long and what that looked like. He obviously slowed down in those fights. Nothing crazy. He is not a finish or bust kind of guy. He can absolutely win late. Taking on Jung. Woon famously, a few years ago, all the UFC could talk about is 16-fight unbeaten streak. 16 fights he hasn't lost. Well, now he's lost 3 in a row, and we are witnessing a downward spiral. He's a pretty well-rounded guy. We watched him take down, what is that, Amanda Hebos. Watch your story. Didn't reply to it, so that sucks for you. 8 takedowns when he beat up our buddy William Knight. We've seen him knock people out early. We've seen him do all the things. Jung's a very well-rounded guy. He is coming off that submission loss to Carlos Ulberg there, though, a little more than a year ago. I mentioned this in the other breakdown, but I'm going to say it again here in case you didn't see it. Oumar Sy is going to win. They purposely gave him this matchup. This is how the UFC marketing machine works. Pay attention. Oumar Sy is a big guy. He's fun. He's exciting. He's not the typical boring French Savate-style fighter. So they have a guy in Jung that has you could make a 20-minute highlight of him doing incredible stuff. He was on a 16-fight unbeaten streak. He was knocking people out. He was submitting them. He was taking down William Knight over and over and over. So they have all the footage they need to put together a highlight reel like Jung is still that guy, even though he is not. So on our broadcast Saturday, we're going to see the UFC hyping up Jung like he was that guy, just so we could watch Oumar beat him, and then we leave that being like, how good is Oumar? Oumar's the pick. Minus 450 feels like very good odds, especially at this point in the card when some of these odds have gotten away from us. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Can you give us a Billy?
I'm not doing that weird bullshit.
Oh, Billy.
Was that from, what is that from? Ace Ventura?
You find new ways to disappoint me every day.
Is it Billy Madison? It's not Billy Madison.
Every day you find new and exciting ways to just fucking disappoint the shit out of me.
What is it from?
I think I've played the clip on the fucking stream before.
Before we were live, Cable Guy? I don't remember that movie.
AIDS brain.
Before we were live, I got the Night at the Roxbury reference, so good for me. Who do you think wins this fight?
And I was like, Amelia!
Who do you think wins this fight?
And I was like, Oumar Sy! I think he wins the fight. I mean, this guy is good. He wants to get to the wrestling. He wants to get to the grappling. And I know last fight he was kind of very methodical in the way he went about that, which is really good to see, right? He's not like a Jailton Almeida who's going to just blast in and tries to get for the finish right away. He's going to take his time, and if you want to get back to your knees, that's fine. He's going to grab your wrist. He's going to go back down to the ground. But if you watch old school footage of this guy, he can be pretty fucking nasty with the ground and pound as well. So I know a lot of people are probably going to chase this fight, look for better odds, see the submission bet, and want to chase that submission bet. But he will get on top and do some ground and pound as well. So I'd be a little bit careful trying to chase like sub. But I do believe in Oumar's side. I just think he's good enough with the hands to get to the wrestling, which is where he wants to be. And he's really good in the wrestling and the grappling as well. So, Woon Jung's always going to be live kind of with that power. But Oumar, like I said, he's not a telegraphed, I'm shooting no matter what type of guy. He sets it up and should be able to get it done.
I agree, and I think this is set up for him. This isn't a let's see how good he is. This isn't a let's give Da Woon Jung another chance. This was purposely set up so they have all the highlights, everything they can brag about, and get Oumar the win. As I mentioned, minus 450. I know you guys love your 15-leg plus money parlays, but minus 450 is not terrible. You parlay that with a minus one something, all of a sudden you got really good odds on a
I'll be honest.
parlay.
I've got it in a little parlay. I've got it in a few parlays. I like them.
There we go.
I like them. He's cute too.
$9,400 also. I do think that should be worth it in a lineup or two. I think he finds a finish here. He certainly can come forward, get it done. We love wrestling in DraftKings Fantasy, and we love finishes in DraftKings Fantasy. We may get both of those things here. If you do want to unlock Jacob's Sassy Parlay, you can do so now. It's $10 for an entire month.
Oh, my God. I could taste it. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
When you said sassy, I could taste it. What do I taste right now in my mouth? Come on, Angelo.
Cherry pie? I don't know.
No, come on. Think about sassy. Think about what would be my mouth be filled with right now.
Okay.
Come on, think about it.
Come.
Dude, what the fuck? I'm talking about sassy dip. From
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck, dude? What are you doing? Where are you going with this? Your cousin's wife makes a dip called Sassy Dip that's fucking incredible. Whatever she calls Sassy, whatever it is.
It is called Sassy. It had no name, so she just named it Sassy.
It's fucking incredible. It's like a sweet, spicy, whatever.
It is. It is.
And
incredible.
you said what?
I don't remember what I said, but that is a delicious dip. I have the recipe. I'll share the recipe.
I know. I thought that you knew. I mean,
holy
shit.
Well, you kind of asked for that one. Oh boy. If you want to save this man and get him to church, well, $10 will help. We'll get him some pamphlets. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, become a premium member. It's $10 for an entire month.
Pass around the plate.
You're going to get 4 events for that $10. UFC Paris, UFC 307, the 2 very good fight nights immediately following that. We're on a 9-event streak here with no breaks. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Yeah,
Jacob is full Diddy. I'm talking about a fucking chip
Sassy
dip here.
dip
A
is
cracker
the name.
dip. And don't you really do? Isn't it crackers? Isn't it better with crackers? I can't remember.
She gets those like super thin crackers, like the like bleached white thin ones, and it's really.
It literally is like every time you take a bite, it's like a different flavor, and you can never figure out what
amazing.
it is.
It's got jelly on top. It's got like cream cheese, sour cream, shredded cheese. There's like cayenne pepper in there. It's very good.
Yeah,
like
literally.
It's a very good dip.
I think we should start.
You know what sucks
that could
though?
be the We Want Picks dip. We can start bottling it and selling it.
You know what sucks though is
And we'll call it Come for Angelo.
She started making some Casey showed up with it at the you watched me house that dip. That wasn't sassy dip. That's like jalapeno popper dip where it's jalapenos and bacon and all that shit in there.
I saw you
and it's very good, but she likes making that now instead of the sassy dip. The sassy dip's so much better.
We need Casey, get it in the fucking line.
Get her under control. He strikes me as a guy who runs his house, but maybe not. We do have a $1.99
just got off a horse.
He is bow-legged. $1.99 super chat from MMA NFL with IDN. Hey, Jacob, are you going live tomorrow and or Saturday?
Just kind of depends on what kind of mood I wake up in, honestly.
There you go.
All right, what kind of fucking mood you people put me in tonight? And this fucking dumbass sitting across to me. I'm trying to find this picture because before we move on, I'd really like to reference
Did you take
this
a picture of me just plowing that dip? $2 super chat from Ollie Point VTV. Jacob, why are you going for Jousset? Well, if you just sit tight for a few minutes, we'll get there. I didn't even
just
know
have
that's
some fucking patience.
We'll get there. Thank you for the $2 super chat. We'll get there, I promise you.
Where is this picture?
All right, well, I'm moving on while you try to find whatever the hell is happening here. Ooh. Next up at UFC Paris, we have the featured prelim of the evening. We have Jan Cutelaba taking on Ivan Erslan. Jan Cutelaba, 17-10 in his career, a measly 1-4 in his last 5. He's coming off a decision loss to Felipe Lins, taking on Ivan Erslan. This guy is 14-3 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He is alternating wins and losses. Jan Cutelaba is a grappler who has big power in his hands. He's a kill or be killed kind of guy. He is going to move forward. He will fight in the phone booth, even though his chin absolutely cannot stand up to that kind of exchange. But he will also get the takedowns, work on top, and find those finishes. Definitely a feast or famine kind of guy. He'll chase a stoppage, might get stopped while he's doing it. He has takedowns, but they're typically body locks, just sloppy drags and things like that.
I just want to quickly pan, or hopefully this focuses for us. There we go. I'm going to quickly just kind of pan, and we're going to look at, so there's how people are sitting, right? Just kind of whatever. Then we're going to go to the other side, and here's just normal, whatever. What's this guy doing?
Everybody likes to say I sit gay, but I'm just very
What's
comfortable.
that guy doing? What are you doing? Look, everyone's sitting, and then look at this guy.
I fold my hips. I'm sitting nice, man. I'm comfortable in my own house with folded hips, relaxing, eating Twizzlers. I mean, I see a man that's enjoying his own media room and having some snacks. That's what I see. You got to pay for those feet pictures. I don't understand why everybody's got a problem with how I sit. It is a thing. Every single time. Yeah, I'm barefoot. You see barefoot. It's my house. Of course I'm barefoot in my old house. What kind of joke is that? Ridiculous. Yeah, I'm comfortable in my own house. I'm not going to apologize for how I sit and relax at home. Anyway, Cutelaba can knock you out. He can take you down. He can finish you. But he's got no chin whatsoever. He's taking on Ivan Erslan. Powerful striker. He can end your night with one single punch. He can alternate
Someone said the toe ring. They saw your toe ring.
I don't have a toe ring.
I don't have a toe ring. Okay.
Yeah, there's no
okay, I don't have a toe ring.
Absolutely.
And I don't have a fucking toe ring.
Ivan Erslan is a powerful striker. He can knock you out with one punch. He can stay busy. He can alternate between at distance, range, technical guy, or just in that pocket, firing away. He's pretty light on his feet for a big guy. Likes to plot forward, explode with counters. Takedown defense is not great, though. And that is a problem. And that is why Jan Cutelaba is the favorite here. Because for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why Cutelaba was the favorite. A chinny-ass dude fighting a guy who can knock his head off. Like, why the hell is he the favorite? 1 + 1 does equal 2. But then I saw, finally, I had to go digging, and I finally saw Ivan in some wrestling exchanges, and he panicked, and he turned his back, and it's like, yeah, this isn't great. I am still going to pick Ivan Erslan. He just hits way too hard. Cutelaba has no chin at all. But Cutelaba, if he gets his fight to the ground, it's probably over there. But Erslan is going to be the pick. No bet. The odds are, if they continue to widen, then maybe we'll find some value, but just nothing yet. What do you think, Jakey Boombalats?
Yeah, I'm on the Erslan side just because there's no way I'm ever picking Cutelaba at this point. I just, especially as a favorite, you just can't trust the guy. Even if he wrestles, he still finds a way to lose a fight. And Erslan is a guy that he'll throw some heavy shit, and once he thinks he has you hurt, he will jump all over you. What I do worry about, as you mentioned, is kind of the wrestling as well from Cutelaba, but also Erslan he can get chinned. I mean, I've seen this guy if you watch his 5-round fight, he got dropped a few times, and a lot of times he can kind of tough out those situations, but he does get hit as well, and if he does get hit, he does get hurt, he does get dropped, he tries to work through them, but, against the UFC guys like Cutelaba, if he gets hit and he gets dropped, he's probably going to get finished, so this feels pretty 50-50. I think the odds probably make sense to me. I'm taking Erslan just because I can't pick Cutelaba at this point, but honestly, nothing in this fight would surprise me. Nothing.
I completely agree with you.
If they pull their pants down and play swords in the middle, that's the only thing that's going to surprise me.
Especially with Cutelaba, his last fight, everybody bet the under. Everybody bet the under. Goes the distance. Like this guy is a bet hole. Like if you bet against him, he'll win. If you bet on him, he'll lose. If you bet the round, it'll go. It was.
I kind of like
black
that,
hole. He's a black hole for bets. Is
I kind of like bet hole because it sounds like butthole, but it has an actual meaning to it.
There you go, bet hole.
And just like if there's enough to, a lot of money disappears in a bet hole, and then if you have enough tequila, a lot of stuff can disappear into a butthole as well.
Okay, $8,300 in DraftKings Fantasy versus $7,900. I do think, unless something ridiculous happens, under 1.5 makes some sense here. I don't think this fight goes very long. I think Cutelaba can knock him out, take him down, or submit it. If Ivan can certainly knock out Cutelaba. So if you have the right person in your DraftKings fantasy lineup at these prices, you will be very happy, and that will be worth the money. Pick your side there. If you do want to unlock all the picks, the bets, I believe I do have a bet on this round line. You can do so now. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. It is only $10 for an entire month. That'll get you UFC 307. This card, the 2 fight nights after that, and that's everything that we do. The AI picks, the bets, the breakdown, all of it. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top.
His nipples are always so aggressive, too.
They are they cut glass. We have a $4.99 from Mersault, 11-11. I hit a 3-leg parlay, UFC 306, with Jacobs, Lock of the Week, Esteban for the win. Leg 2 had Lopes for the win and Marab for the win by decision. I'm buying membership. Thanks, guys. Well, we appreciate the $4.99, and that's a nice little hit.
Hold on. Put that picture back up.
Yeah, hold on. I got to find it now. What were the odds on that, bud? Shit, I got to find it. There's a lot of comments since then. There it is.
Oh, okay. It's like and it's going to be a compliment too, but honestly, with that upper chest and those soft features, I actually thought you could have been a female from distance. That's a nice upper chest, man. You got some good definition there.
Jesus Christ. That guy's like, how do I take back a super chat? Is what he's
going to love that. People that work out, an upper chest is one of the hardest things to develop.
People who work out love being called feminine. You are right.
No, I know that if you guys want a funny story, Angelo, and we told this on the stream before, Angelo's wife made him go to the gym one fucking time, right? The guy did tricep extensions, and he spent 3 days telling me how he thinks he needs to go to the hospital because he was so sore he couldn't straighten his arms, and he thought there was something seriously wrong. I'm like, dude, you're just fucking sore. 4 days later, yeah, it's getting better. Yeah, no shit. That's Angelo's experience. So when I tell somebody they got a nice upper chest, he doesn't fucking get it. It's a nice upper chest.
Okay. And you've heard all the A's, the Down syndrome. We don't know what to believe anymore. Listen, guys, you want $50? I'll send you 50. It's called affiliate marketing. Go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. You use the link, you sign up, you make a deposit. They will pay us. It's affiliate marketing. And then we slice off some of that money and we give it right back to you. We got a whole queue of people I got to pay out. I'll probably run through that tomorrow.
Angelo got breasts.
What?
So
WeWantPicks.com/bets to qualify for that $50. I did want to just take a second, talk about my latest content endeavor.
After I give you this time, can I promote mine as well?
Sure. Do you have a thumbnail?
Why is that funny?
All
I had, that was a genuine question. Do you mind if I talk about my video that I worked hard on as well?
Half your show, yes. You
don't do fucking shit with these. You just send them up. I actually work on my videos.
Okay, well, so
my favorite comment is the Lock of the Week videos.
Mine.
My favorite comment on Lock of the Week videos is when people are like, Jacob, these are great, and tell your editor he did a great job.
Yeah.
I'm the fucking editor.
Jacob does all his own shit. I can't edit. I don't edit my own.
All right,
I edit my quick picks, but
I'm gonna refill I need ice and.
Okay. I started doing some hot takes, some 3-minute, 5-minute breakdowns of specific topics. So yeah, keep an eye out for those. And if you have ideas for topics, give them to me because I threw out 3 videos. I did do my my Mount Rushmore, which we don't have to talk about right now, but I love my Mount Rushmore. So check that out. And all those hot take videos. If you have a topic, let us know. Here's a quick look at what the last month has looked like for me and Jacob. I'm up 5.2 units. Jacob is up 6 units in the last 4 events. And before you say, but Angelo, your safety parlay lost. It did lose. You're right. And guess what? That was one of several bets. And the other bets didn't. So as a whole picture, Big Ange is up over 5 units. Jakey Boy's up over 6 units. They combined over 11 units over the last 4 events. If you want to unlock all of this stuff and the tools,
go back.
You can WeWantPicks.com, click become a member at the top. Go back to this.
Yeah, just seeing it. I was just looking at it.
It's the last 4 events. Yeah.
Wow. Nice Sean O'Malley bet, dumbass.
Idiot. I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how I made money.
You know
It's
what's so
obviously not
funny
a
is,
fortune, but
is literally, I think before this, I was up money like 7 of the last 8 weeks or 8 of the last 9 or something like that. Dude, immediately when I was down money last week, it's like, nice Sean pick. Thanks. It's like, you fucking dick shit. You fucking turd bitch. The fuck?
It's what have you
Like,
done for me lately?
Jesus Christ.
100%.
Like, Lock of the Week has won 4 in a row, and I can't wait for it to lose because they'll be like, oh,
you're the dumbest dude that's ever walked the
nice
face of the earth.
pick. Way to go.
Dude, when your Lock of the Week loses, it could be a bad split decision, and you will still get a
Nice
terrible
pick.
pick. No, it'll be terrible pick, loss of the week, and then a whole bunch of so-and-so was free, just naming like the only underdog who did win. That's how your comment section will be.
They're literally that one I reference all the time. There was really that one card where I think every favorite won, and people still were like, nice pick. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Well, it was 2 weeks ago at UFC Vegas 97. We both picked the only winning dog in the entire card, and he was your Lock of the Week. So cheers to you. Data. Here's the mail. You want to send mail? We love opening it. We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406, Prosper, Texas, 75078.
And also, can I do my thing now?
Yes.
If you guys, and this is serious too, because I did work hard on this video, you guys enjoyed Lock of the Week, and a lot of people, they just see the pick and they're going to tail the pick and they don't really give a shit about the process. But there are a lot of people that are like, hey, how do you figure out who the lock is? I'd like to understand your thought process. And a lot of these steps can go for pretty much any pick. It's not just lock picks. You should go through these process to make pretty much any pick. But there is a video on the channel. If you guys have not seen it, go check it out. It is the 10 steps that I go through basically to pick my lock of the week every single week. And I've kind of like figured out this little process that I go through trial and error. And, check out that video and like it. And like this video if you haven't already.
There we go. And Shoujo said, Jacob literally made me thousands on Lock of the Week. And yeah, that's because every
Thanks
single
for
one
that super chat.
plus money. What's super chat? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's super chat? Yeah, Shoujo.
Yeah, so either way, yeah, check out Jacob's. If you guys are part of the mailing list, I sent it to 14,000 email addresses, Jacob's video. So open it there, go to the YouTube channel, watch it from there. Next up, at UFC Paris, we have the main card opener. We have another fight. I mentioned the line movement on this card is wild. Ziam opened as a dog. He was still an underdog just last week, and he has now full flipped to the favorite. Yeah. I can snap better than you.
Your snaps sound fat. It's a fat sound to snap. It should be crisp. They literally sound like they have cholesterol.
Those are good snaps. Anyway, Ziam, 15-4 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He is on a 3-fight win streak, taking on Matt Steamroller Frevola. 11-4 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that knockout loss to main eventer Benoit Saint-Denis. These are a clash of styles because we got Ziam, the distance striker, the low volume pacing, slow the pace striker. He likes to stay at range. He will work well if he's in a clinch, but for the most part, he's going to manage range with solid leg kicks. Then he'll decide to close that distance to get to the clinch, where he'll work in some elbows, stay busy, and then back the hell out all over again. Technical fighter. He avoids risks at all costs. He picks his shots well. He only engages when he sees an opportunity, and he takes his time and looks to point his way to a victory. He's coming off that sketchy win over Claudio Puelles, where he was taken down a shit ton, but ultimately given a decision because of the striking and the pressure. He's taking on Matt Frevola. Matt Frevola does not take his time. He is not a patient striker. He'll come charging forward, bombing away, and shooting takedowns. He does not stop coming forward until the fight's over. Typically, kill or be killed kind of guy. Doesn't really love decisions. He'll throw big looping shots, in some cases even a sloppy back fist. He averages almost 3 takedowns per fight, a low 40% takedown accuracy, but he does have 14 takedowns in 10 UFC fights. But he is weird because some fights he won't even attempt a takedown. Other fights he only wants to wrestle. So you don't necessarily know when he's going to choose to wrestle. He is coming off of that loss to Benoit Saint-Denis where he actually did wrestle. And then Benoit just, bang, kicked him right in the face. I'm going with Firas Ziam here. When I picked him 2 weeks ago, he was an underdog. Now he's the favorite. It just gives me even a little more confidence. I actually have a small bet on Firas Ziam when he was an underdog because I do think he's just the more technical guy. And if he avoids a little bit of chaos early and he stays on the outside and Matt Frevola is just running in recklessly, overcommitting, Firas can touch and go, hit him and step out, hit him and step out. And Matt Frevola is just going to slow down, headhunt, ultimately not find what he needs. Firas Ziam is boring as shit. He is not an exciting fighter, and he is going to slow this down, and this is going to be a boring fight. Firas Ziam is the pick. And if you're a premium member, you got him at that plus money that I got him at last week. What do you think, Jakey Bombalotes?
Steam Roller Frevola. I think this is a great fight for him, man. He's obviously going to have there's always going to be question marks about his chin, right? You've seen him get chinned time and time. It's not like just a one-off thing. He has been chinned in the past, but these are guys that hit pretty hard. Firas Ziam probably can hit hard if he wants to commit and sit on shots. I think anybody, if they're a good striker, can. But he is content with just kind of touching. He wants to just not overcommit. He's going to stay technical. He's just going to throw those shots out there. And when you get Matt Frevola against a guy who doesn't really pose that danger and can get taken down, I think this is a signature fight for a guy like Matt Frevola. The question marks are going to be over the chin, but even if he gets hurt, which he's not really a guy that kind of gets stumbled. When he gets hurt, he usually is pretty fucking hurt.
It's all or nothing.
But say that Ziam doesn't really have that power, but kind of touches a little bit. Throughout this entire fight, those takedowns should be there for Matt Frevola whenever he wants to get them, whenever he needs to get them as well. So I honestly think that I understand the technical abilities of Ziam, but he's not going to have that space he wants. I mean, he wants to be that middle of the cage, controlling. He's got your back against the fence, and he's able to throw in space. Matt Frevola is going to be all over him early, and even if he doesn't get him out early, it's not like Matt Frevola is a guy that has shown in the past where, he doesn't get a first-round finish, now he's gassing. He just happens to get these first-round finishes. His gas tank is going to be fine, and I think that he can get to the wrestling if he needs to get to it as well. So I'm on Frevola here, and I think I might have just talked myself into placing a bet on him.
There you go. Yeah, I do think, listen, I get the danger that Frevola has, and he will just come charging forward. Look at this. But he didn't have Merab for a huge portion of this fight. Not that it necessarily matters, but I imagine Merab is his best training partner in that gym, and he didn't have him for a giant chunk of this fight. Or this fight camp.
Frevola, I think, is really up at Longo where Merab's been at Syndicate.
That's what I'm saying. So he didn't have him for this camp, but they were teammates well before this camp. So
you say weird stuff.
Yeah, facts, actual facts. Even though I'm picking Firas, and even though in DraftKings Fantasy he's at that dog money, no shot. Am I putting no shot? To Jacob's point, he's not dangerous, so I don't see a finish on his side. And point fighting is not going to do well for DraftKings Fantasy. So he's not going to be in my DraftKings Fantasy lineup. If you have a whole bunch of lineups and you're competing in a large tournament with 150 entries chasing $60,000, you might want a little bit of exposure for Matt Frevola just for that one-punch knockout power and the takedown opportunities. If you do want to unlock all the picks and all the bets, not just for this event, but UFC 307, the 2 fight nights after that and everything else, it's only $10 for an entire month. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Next up, at UFC Paris, we have Morgan Charriere taking on Gabriel Fly Miranda. Morgan Charriere, 19-10 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off that controversial loss to Chepe Mariscal. Is that a fly? Jesus Christ. Gabriel Miranda, 17-6 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off a full year layoff. And it's not an easy fight back because Morgan Charriere is an explosive striker. He's light on his feet. He stalks his opponents. He'll leap into punches. He'll work for control. He does a very good job being all the way in or all the way out. He's got great takedown defense, good takedown offense, plenty of cardio, good amount of power. He's pretty good everywhere. And honestly, that fight with Chepe Mariscal made me really appreciate how good Morgan Charriere is. He's taking on Gabriel Miranda on the other hand. Gabriel Miranda is a slick grappler, a very slick grappler. He's got some nice takedowns as well. Very much an old school BJJ guy, though. If he's on his back, he's hanging out in the guard. He's working the pass. He's trying to sweep. He's not looking to get his way back up. If he's on his feet, he's just kind of throwing whatever he can before shooting a takedown, trying to get to the ground. He is a pretty one-dimensional guy, but that one dimension is grappling, and he is very, very good at it. He is coming off that submission win over Shane Young, where he needed less than 1 minute to get it done, and then it was laid off for a full year. Gabriel's dumb dangerous, insanely dangerous in this fight, could absolutely 100% win by submission, but I don't think it happens. I am very confident in Morgan Charriere here. I think what we saw in that last fight with Chepe, I mean, a lot of people think, first of all, he won that fight, but even if he didn't win that fight, he looked fantastic doing it. Morgan Charriere is the pick. I think he's just too good everywhere. Takedown defense should be there. The cardio's there. And Gabriel really only has one way to win, where Morgan can win a couple different ways. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah. So these odds are fucking stupid. I mean, these odds are absolutely fucking stupid. Gabriel Miranda is not a bum in any way, shape, or form. This guy is a very aggressive striker to get to the takedowns, and he's got good takedowns. He's got a good double. He's got good singles. He can run the pipe. He can do these trips. And once he gets you down to the ground, he's a fucking problem. And I will say that the odds are absolutely fucking stupid. And not only are the odds are fucking stupid, I'm going to take Gabriel Miranda to win this fight. You have a 10-loss Frenchie, right? Oh my God, he's never been committed. He never been committed. That's what you're going to hear a lot, right? I don't give a fuck. When you're against a specialist like Gabriel Miranda, and you are a good grappler like Morgan, because he is a good wrestler. He is a good grappler. So what is he going to do? He's probably going to think, I'm fine here. And when you think you're fine against these fucking specialists, because I believe that Gabriel Miranda is going to get a takedown. This guy was taking down BSD. He was taking his time. He got a very clean takedown in his last fight as well. It's not like Morgan can't be taken down. And a lot of times it only takes one fucking takedown. If you try to out-scramble this guy instead of taking your time, because what'd you see with Chepe? When Chepe is engaging, when Chepe's throwing him all this stuff, Morgan is scrambling, right? Because he trusts his grappling abilities. He's like, okay, boom, boom, boom. He was even threatening his own submissions against a guy like Chepe. When you start doing that against people with the skill level, Gabriel Miranda, all of a sudden this guy's on your back, and all of a sudden this forearm is sliding underneath your fucking throat, and you're getting choked out. I'm taking Gabriel Miranda because I think he's better than people are giving him credit for against a 10-loss Frenchie. Minus 750, no fucking thanks. Give me the dog. He's going to pull this off. He'll get the takedown. He'll get the back. He'll choke this guy out.
Listen, I disagree. I think you're being a little sensational there. The 10 losses is crazy because you could argue he didn't lose his last fight, but that's still 9 losses.
Has anybody with 10 losses ever been minus 750 versus fucking anybody? No. Yeah.
He did look pretty good in that last fight. Then you go watch the regional tape.
He smoked him.
Okay. He did look pretty good in those previous fights as well. I think Morgan Charriere is very good. Very good.
Smoked him.
Okay. That's because Chepe was your lock, and you had to feel that way. Because a lot of people did not feel that way.
Well, a lot of fucking casuals out there, Angelo.
That is true. I also think it's insane that people use casual as an insult. That just means you also have a life and watch other things as well. Anyway.
I'm not a casual, I'll tell you that. This is my fucking life. That's why I'm as successful as I am.
So you're full-blown picking Gabriel Miranda to win.
You goddamn right, and I put a bet on him as well.
He better be your underdog lock of the week.
I'm not a fucking pussy.
Plus 550, that should be your lock of the week. Biggest
Stay
lock
fucking
of all
tuned,
time.
buddy.
Biggest lock of all time.
Stay tuned, buddy.
Okay. And if
he came through on my Mexican blood fly parlay. I know that.
Who else was in that? I do remember that. I remember that name because it just sounded
Blood
good.
was Blood Diamond. He's the one that cost us.
Yeah.
I don't know who the Mexican was.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, because that's when Charlie Bradkey beat Blood Diamond. Anyway, we are very, very wildly split on this fight. Don't listen to Jacob here. He's great at picking dogs, but this one is beyond him, and this isn't going to work out well. If it does, I will publicly apologize. but there's just no way Gabriel Miranda's winning.
That would be the first.
Morgan Charriere is just too damn good. He's just too good.
10
too
loss.
well-rounded. Yeah, sure. 10 losses. Sure.
Damn. Guy's unstoppable. Except for 10
6
other times. Guy can't be beat except for fucking 10 times other people beat him.
Sure. No, you're right. I'm looking forward to your money line bet on Gabriel Miranda.
I got better odds than that.
Oh, okay. Well, a little specific. If you do want to check out the bet.
I put $100 on him, win by submission, win $700.
The secret bet that, well, it's no longer a secret bet. If you want to check out all the bets that we got going on here, you can do that now. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. At the top, it is only $10
I hit
for an entire month.
I put $50 to win $1,400 on Ketlin Souza win by submission against your fucking safety.
People
parlay,
were very mad at you. Did you see all the hate? Because they're like,
how can you be mad that I picked the fucking?
Because they're like, where was this bet? I don't understand. This doesn't make sense. I didn't see that listed.
Wow, cool. Sorry for giving you an underdog.
Well, the bet, they were pissed that they didn't get that. They were just upset that they didn't get
There was one guy on Twitter who was like, "Why wasn't this in premium?" Because
oh no, I was getting it. Bet. Yeah, no, I got him on my video. Like, why didn't Jacob share? And I was like, Jacob placed a crazy bet on his own. You can't just put that shit in premium and then it misses and then it's like, you idiot. It's like, he's just hanging out, having some fun with the bets. Anyway, if you do want to check out the official bets in premium, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. At the top, $10 super chat. Here you go.
There it is.
You bullied him into it.
There it is.
Thank you, Jacob. Your deep dive on studying fighters is at the highest.
There it is. That's his fifth super chat, too. So he has super chatted in the past. So
you can see that. I don't see that in here. I guess you're on YouTube.
I just know it. I have a photographic memory, and I know that he has super chatted 4 other times. I remember that because every super chat is special to me. If you super chat right now, I will tell you from memory what number super chat that was.
Well, we appreciate you, Shoujo, for sure. Thank you for that. Next up, at UFC Paris, we have Kevin Jousset taking on Bryan Battle. This is an interesting fight. This is certainly a fight that matters very, very much because both of these guys are very good. Both of these guys have been doing good things recently, and one of them, yeah, you're doing that face perfectly. Literally, don't stop because you look exactly like him. Wait till we get to Gomez. You think you can riz me up like Gomez is in that picture? Anyway, we got Kevin Jousset looking to stay undefeated in the UFC versus Bryan Battle, who's looking to continue his success. Kevin Jousset, 10-2 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5. He's coming off a dominant win over Song Kanan, taking on Bryan Battle, 10-2 in his career, 3-1-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that no contest with Ange Losa. We have another sort of clash of styles type matchup here. Kevin Jousset, outside of his last fight, is a stocky striker. He'll plot forward slowly. He's got low hands. The volume usually isn't there. When he does finally close that distance, he'll work you to the cage. He'll look to get control, be bigger, stronger, drag you to the ground. He is insanely patient in everything he does, and he uses his size to control the pace. He is coming off an uncharacteristically busy win over Song Kanan, where he landed a crazy 134 significant strikes. He's taking on Bryan Battle. This guy is a dog. He's constantly pressuring, constantly working towards something. He has shown us that he has solid ground game. He's never out of a fight. He averages around 1 takedown per fight. Takedown accuracy is not great at 28%, but he is improving at an insane pace. Every single time he walks into the octagon, you see better skills, and physically he looks better. Just better and better and better, and he is putting in the time. I mentioned he's coming off that eye poke no contest with Ange Losa, where he did poke Ange in the eye. Ange took the easy way out because he was getting absolutely smoked. I have never picked a Bryan Battle fight wrong. I don't think I'm going to pick this one wrong either. I am picking Bryan Battle. I just think he has too much heart, too much determination. He's good on the feet. He's good on the ground. I don't think he's going to get bullied. The cardio is insane. Renat Fakhretdinov pushed him around, took him down over and over and over. But Bryan Battle never settled, was constantly moving. Even in the 3rd round, he's given up like 8 minutes of control time. He is still pushing off the hips, trying to stand up, trying to make something happen, doesn't quit, doesn't give up on himself. That is a guy that I believe in. I have picked Bryan Battle, and I have a bet on him, and I think I got him at -144 or something like that. Jakey boy, I think we're split here again. What do you think?
Yeah. If you look at Kevin Jousset, you would say doesn't have that upper chest I was talking about earlier, right? He's got a lot of lower chest, working those dips, really needs to improve that upper chest. Listen, I'm always, you guys know me. I'm man of the people. I'm Mr. Honesty, right? And I will always tell you guys, when I'm biased in a pick. Hand to God.
What is on your finger?
I always play with something when I'm talking. It's usually this. I just wrap it in my finger. It's like just a whatever. It's a cock ring.
Yeah. Congratulations on all your
stretched
success.
out.
Yeah.
Little stretched out. I am honest to God, guys, and I don't know why, because he seems like a great guy, and he obviously works hard, right? You can see the change him in
Yeah, Jesus.
You can see the change with him physically, not only physically but mentally as well. He has started to buy into his own hard work, and that's exactly what you should do as a fighter. You can see his confidence start building, and he has looked better and better in every single fight. He's improving. I'm a Brian Battle hater. I just am. And I don't know why at this point, because he seems like a great guy. He seems like he got a great fan base behind him. He's an exciting fighter. He goes in there and he fucking, as you mentioned, even in that Renat fight or whatever, he's still working to try and win that fight in whatever way that he can. In my mind, he is always going to be that jiu-jitsu guy. That's his base. That's his core. He's very good in jiu-jitsu. And I believe that he has kind of found some nice wins with the striking. But when you stand in front of a guy who's going to be there, in my opinion, I don't think Battle's a guy that's going to smoke a guy like Kevin Jousset. When this guy is going to be there and he's going to stay in your face and he's got a really crisp jab, when you're not really that super technical striker, which Battle is working to be that, and he's getting more technical, but he does a little bit more of the wild stuff. Those jabs just start to fucking add up, and those little calf kicks and those little shots. And Jousset's just one of those guys that just stays in your face, and he just chips away and chips away and chips away. And I just think that Jousset's going to do that long enough. And if Battle tries to work in the wrestling, Jousset's also, skilled on the ground as well. He's known as Air Jousset because he's a judo guy. He's a very, very high-level judo guy. And if Brian has to kind of get away from that jab to go to the wrestling, all of a sudden when you're more of a jiu-jitsu guy and you're on those takedowns and you get thrown and Kevin Jousset is on top of you, it's also going to be a bad way because Battle will start playing that guard game, that jiu-jitsu type game. So I've said that Brian Battle is a jiu-jitsu nerd at his core. I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with my hate. I'm probably going to be wrong. I'm not going to say I'm probably going to be wrong again, but I could be wrong again. But I'm going Kevin Jousset here. I just think he stays in his face and just scores more to win this fight. But I respect his toughness, Brian Battle.
Yeah, Kevin's tough too. Kevin's no slouch. He is just, that last fight.
One of his losses is to Jack Della Maddalena, who's going to be the champion. He's going to go down as the greatest 170er of ever. That's one of his losses there.
There you go. Listen, I my pick is not based in random hate of what is probably a pretty nice guy. But I just think Brian's just non-stop activity is going to be too much. And Kevin looked good against Song, but it's Song. It's not a guy that's in
He can't keep up that big activity.
Who can't? Brian?
I don't think he's going to keep up that big activity. And I had AJ Fletcher as a pick. I don't think he was my lock of the week, but he was my pick versus Brian Battle because I said he's gonna fucking hurt this guy. He sat Brian Battle down and he turned Brian Battle into a jiu-jitsu nerd. We'll see if that happens here.
That did happen. He ultimately ended up winning that fight, but he was in a little bit of trouble. But Kevin's not a big one.
And AJ Fletcher's a short, stocky, and Kevin Jousset's a much longer
and strong as shit
and good looking.
Well, I had this comment ready to go. Why does Jousset look like Jacob's taller, more handsome big brother?
Well, he's a 170er and I'm 180, so.
Yeah, he is taller though. So
I don't think so.
He's definitely, without question, taller. He's over 6 foot. So it's like,
if you would have invited me to your wedding, you would have found out how tall I am. I would have invited.
I think I knew you for like 3 days.
It was a couple months, and
months. The weddings get planned like
we met that summer, and you got married in November, correct?
No. Yes, I did.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Hey, Jacob, can you watch the dog? We're going to go get married. Yeah, okay.
Who did watch our dog?
Okay.
Yeah, who the hell watched our dog? Well, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah, I can't wait to get married, and your ass is not coming.
That would be fucked up. That would be fucked up. You come to our holidays, that'd be fucked up. Don't get me. You're going to get me round up.
I went to Christmas once, I think.
Yeah, I invite you all the time. We'd love to have you. It's a magical season. Anyway, Kevin just set $7,700 in DraftKings Fantasy. Brian Battle, $8,500 in DraftKings Fantasy. I like Brian at this price. He's just so damn busy. I am going to have to look at his past scoring because I agree with you. I don't think he's just going to willy-nilly take Kevin down whenever he wants to. But I do think he can get some activity done, move forward, make some stuff happen just with relentless pressure. Even if
he's shooting takedowns, he's in trouble. If Brian Battle's shooting takedowns, he's in trouble.
I don't disagree. And we have seen power from him. Who did he head kick knock out like it was no big deal? Was it 2 years ago?
You know, the best bet I ever made was I think I had a Brian Battle money line, but I had a Gabe Green more significant strikes when he fucking just smoked Gabe Green in the opening seconds. I was watching that as I was boarding my plane, going probably to somewhere extravagant with some fucking model girlfriend. You know, we were walking on the tarmac to the jet, and I was watching that fight, and Gabe Green. Well, Spirit is in LaGuardia, so. Just kind of outed myself there, but I was trying to figure out how I could flip that real quick to say not what I like. You would know that, but it is. I have flown Spirit one time out of LaGuardia, and it was as so rough as it is. If anybody's flown out of the LaGuardia airport as well, I mean, my God, what a place
it's nice
that is.
Now. No, it's beautiful.
Oh, my God. The 3 gate, 2 seats, everyone's sitting on the floor and shit. It's fucking not a fun experience. But I was watching that, and Gabe Green ended up somehow with like 1-2 more significant strikes, even though Battle smoked him like in the first 13 seconds. And it was an incredible hit.
Yeah, that was that head kick knockout. Well, either way, picks, bets, tools, artificial intelligence, everything you could literally ever want or need. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. At the top, it's $10. You're going to get 4 events for that money.
This is going to be a good fight.
It's very good. It matters for the division, too.
This is a good card, man.
It is. Is it in the middle of the day?
Yep. 11 a.m. start for us.
Is it really? Shit. Mm-hmm. Next up, at UFC Paris, we have William Gomez taking on Joanderson Brito. William Gomez, 13-2 in his career, 5-0. Dude, he does look like...
We look the same, right?
He looks like he just did a trick, and he's like, what do you think? Anyway,
maybe in the library with the lead pipe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 13.
Colonel Mustard, maybe perhaps.
And he does have a French accent.
Colonel Mustard, perhaps.
Okay, so you had to.
Well, that song is about orgies. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi is like, will you come to bed with me or something like that.
Oh.
And we were all the 10-year-old girls in the 90s were singing that. Fucking Christina Aguilera. And I love Christina Aguilera. I'm comfortable with my sexuality. I promise you that.
Genie in a bottle. 5-0 in his last 5. He is on an 11-fight win streak. Joanderson Brito, 17-3 in his career. 5-0 in his last 5 as well. All 5 wins by stoppage. This is another clash of styles. William Gomez, the well-rounded guy, for the most part patient. The William Gomez in the UFC and the William Gomez pre-UFC are kind of different guys. Pre-UFC, he's knocking people out. He's submitting people. He's outworking people. He's good at everything. In the UFC, kind of a boring counterpuncher who slows the pace. Muay Thai striking's pretty good. He is an opportunistic grappler where he'll snatch something up in scrambles. The criticism, though, is that he is low volume. He looks to counter. He takes his time. He has almost 45 minutes of cage time. 45 minutes in the UFC, in an octagon, and he still lands fewer than 3 significant strikes per minute. That's an insane statistic. And on the other side of that spectrum is Joanderson Brito. This guy is fast. He's athletic. A wild grappler with giant power in his hands. His top pressure is insane. His striking is not technical, but he'll kick your leg so hard that it splits wide open and you can see the bone. He will knock you out cold with one punch. What he did to Chepe Mariscal, it's crazy that Chepe has the success that he's having today. Joanderson Brito is quite literally the most dangerous fighter in this weight class. So we have a technical striker who's going to try to take his time in Gomez, a wild savage of a beast in Joanderson Brito. And I do think Brito wins this fight. But what I will say here is if Brito is feeling himself, I just finished 5 people in a row, I'm going to finish Gomez, he may gas out bad after that first round after chasing. That is my one and only concern, is that Brito's just going to have all his eggs in the finished basket because he's been finishing everybody lately. Gomez can be dangerous, at least before the UFC he was. But he's not that dangerous anymore. I think Brito's just going to stay in his face, stay busy, hurt him, touch him up, do whatever he wants to do. If Gomez is able to survive, then he might win the next 2 rounds. But I got to go Brito here. He's going to be the pick. And I imagine my concern is why these odds have stayed relatively level and haven't shot off in the other direction. Where do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, the Russian William Gomez, I guess. Pretty embarrassing there. But listen, guys, I promise you guys, and I'm willing to look dumb on this. I don't give a fuck because you only have to listen to me on this breakdown because William Gomez is a former lock of the week. You guys know I know my lock of the weeks very, very well. Joanderson Brito, former lock of the week. I know Joanderson Brito very, very well. Listen to me very clear. Okay? I understand that you guys are probably a little bit pissed off because we've been getting Brito plus money. We've been getting Brito plus money. We've been getting Brito plus money. Now all of a sudden he's minus 270 against this striker. And everyone's like, I think Gomez is going to get done. I think Gomez is the play. Brito's the parlay builder. The fuck is Joanderson Brito not going to do to William Gomez? Right? What the fuck is William Gomez? How is he going to stop Joanderson Brito? This guy has been through a 3-round fight and landed, 27 total strikes in a fight before?
Yeah,
it's crazy that what he, at the UFC level, he has turned it into this non-existent counter striker who can get taken down, can get out grappled, was nearly submitted by Francis Marshall. He is a tough dude. And if he gets in these submission situations, he's a guy that is not going to tap. I promise you, William Gomez is not going to dap. Joanderson Brito is going to be all fucking over this guy with big power, with big wrestling, with big grappling, submission, whatever. You guys love fucking Diego Lopez. I fucking love Diego Lopez. Angelo fucking hates Diego Lopez. But as a world, we all love and respect and understand how fucking good Diego Lopez is. Joanderson Brito fucking smoked Diego Lopez. Fucking smoked him. You want to talk about cardio? He had this guy on the ground, no big issue. His only cardio issue was against Bill Algeo, and he had that guy on his fucking shoulder carrying him around the octagon before he eventually got slowed a little bit down because Bill Algeo will stay in your fucking face. I don't care if Joanderson Brito can't fucking breathe out of the first round and doesn't find a finish because you know what's going to happen in the second round? William Gomez is going to do this. And Joanderson Brito can probably just stand in the middle of the octagon for 4 minutes with his hands on his knees and just fucking catch his breath because William Gomez is not going to engage on his own against a guy like Joanderson Brito. So even if he gets tired, he can fucking catch his breath because William Gomez is going to do fuck for shit in there. So exhaustion, I don't think is going to be an issue. He's got the power. He's got the grappling. He's got the finishing ability. I have no idea how William Gomez wins this fight. And he's a former lock of the week. I respect him for what he did. He won his lock of the week. Fucking Joanderson Brito's my dude. That dude's a fucking problem.
You're not worried that he's feeling himself with all of these finishes?
What the fuck is William Gomez going to do?
Oh, listen, we picked the same guy.
I hope he is feeling himself. I hope he runs across and just smokes this dude.
And on the website,
I'm not going to tell somebody to not be confident.
And on the website, we have our most confident picks listed, me, you, and Artem. And I have Brito as one of my most confident picks. Actually, you didn't put yours yet, Jacob. We have our most confident picks listed. So I have him as one of my most confident picks. I do think Brito wins this fight, 100% for sure. But if I have to put out a concern, that can be one of my concerns. He's feeling himself a little bit there. But
how is he going to guess? William Gomez has no pressure.
I mean, there is a good point in there that, like, literally, you just take your time. Because
when has William Gomez ever ran across him and like, I'm going to finish him?
Yeah. Well, certainly not in the UFC. $7,000 in DraftKings Fantasy is probably some of the, to Jacob's point, the guy lands fewer than 3 significant strikes a minute. He's been in the octagon for 45 minutes. 45 minutes lands fewer than 3 significant strikes per minute. That's an abysmal
And Britu's had
statistic.
adversity as well. He's come back. He's been taken down.
He was losing 2 fights ago. He was getting his ass kicked. Well,
Get him to do something, boy. Get him to do something, boy. That was lock of the week.
That was incredible. Bitch. That was incredible. $9,200 in DraftKings Fantasy for Joanderson Britu. Man, I mean, he's been a cash cow in DraftKings Fantasy over his last 5 fights, but this might be one where I think there's just other people that will be worth their money a little more. But certainly I think he wins, and if he does, he'll score really well. If you do want to unlock all the picks, the bets, the round line leans, the tools, artificial intelligence, and everything else, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Couple of Super Chatterrootskis, $1.99 from Mersalt1111. Thank you. I hug a lot, but the eyes are up north, sir. Is that a quote? Oh, it's the chest guy. Too. Yeah, it's the chest guy. My bad. I forgot to look at the picture. Well, there you go. Yeah, look up.
You are kind of clueless, huh?
Dude, I got a lot on my mind at all times, dude. I never get my brain never gets a break. Gleb, my Russian brother, William Gomez. Listen, the French flag and the Russian flag are basically the exact same thing. One's in landscape, one's in portrait. It's the same flag. That's it. My bad on that. If he was a Russian, then he would have a chance to win this fight.
Never bet against Brazil. I don't know the last time they lost a fight. There you go. See, you can't even think of it either.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say what's her name, but she's a Mexican. Asshole. The chick that got Yasmin Yaryui.
And she lost to a fucking Brazilian.
No, I know. Norma won as a dog. Okay. Next up, at UFC Paris, we have Nasruddin Imavov taking on Brendan Allen. Nasruddin Imavov, 14-4 in his career. 3-1-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that finish win over Jared Cannonier. Taking on Brendan Allen, 24-5 in his career. 5-0 in his last 5. He's coming off that main event win over Christopher Curtis. This is an interesting fight, and this fight matters very, very much for the division. The people have been debating me in the comments whether this means a title shot if somehow Brendan Allen extends his streak or if it's not. And I don't know if he'll get a title shot with this win, but he will have one of the most impressive win streaks in this division, especially over a couple of ranked guys. Nasruddin Imavov is a busy striker. He's a long, tall guy for this division. He's constantly working towards his opponents. He will strike. He'll counter strike. He's not the busiest guy on the planet, but he is moving. And I know that's an oxymoron to say, but he is going to move forward, move in your direction. And even though his hands might not be going crazy, if you throw something, he will counter. He's very comfortable mixing things up. He does have takedowns as well when he wants to use them. Really good control if he ends up on top. He averages about 1 takedown per fight, but doesn't really rely on them that often. He is coming off that finish win over Jared Cannonier where he controlled the striking pace and took over late. Taking on Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen is on an impressive 6-fight win streak. I mentioned probably gets a title shot with this or definitely is in the talks. Like certainly we know next is Dricus and Sean. And then after that, it's either Kaio or Brendan Allen if Brendan wins. And I think Brendan has the more impressive resume up until this point. He's a BJJ black belt. He's got solid low kicks, good takedowns, solid striking in general. He's had a nice evolution in his mixed martial arts career. Started as just a pure grappler. Then he overcorrected. It became a pure striker. And now finally he has found that balance in between. And his last fight was a perfect example. He had some success striking with Chris Curtis. And then when he didn't, he started wrestling and had some success with the wrestling. That was a razor-thin fight that ultimately Chris lost because of, he broke something. What the hell was it? He blew something out or broke something in the 5th round. Tore his hamstring in the 5th round, literally sat down hopping, and that just didn't look good for the judges. But that was a drag him out, pretty good back and forth fight, and Brendan Allen showed some high fight IQ. This is a very good fight that matters very much for this division. Brendan continues to improve. He continues to defy the odds. His personality's weird. I keep mentioning it. He's just like, the behaviors he's doing are crazy. The things he's saying don't make a lot of sense. He attacks people in lobbies of hotels, but he's good. And he's getting better, and he's starting to feel himself. And all that bravado and all that confidence is showing in the octagon, and it matters. But I don't know if it's enough. I am going to pick Nasruddin Imavov. I have him listed at low confidence here. I think he's just slightly better than Brendan, a slightly better striker, a slightly better wrestler. And if Nasruddin does have some success striking, I don't think Brendan's going to be able to out-wrestle him. So that's why I'm going Imavov. But these odds, I've been saying it for 2 full weeks. These odds are insane. And I'm not touching them on the money line. What do you think, Jakey boy?
You know, people aren't going to like this, Angelo. I've already seen the Discord. I've already seen the Twitter. I've already seen the Instagram messages. And that's fine, you know, because we've been here, right? We've been in these situations where we make an unpopular dog pick and people are going to say stuff like, well, Jacob, you know, you're good at picking dogs, but what the fuck, dude? What the fuck, dude? What are you doing here, dude? I know you're good at picking dogs, man, but what the fuck? You don't know shit about you. And we're going to get a lot of that this week, and that's fine with me. Because like I said, we've been here. We've done that. Right. But Brendan Allen's going to win this fight. Okay? And people are going to say, no chin. Okay, that's fine. I think he proved that his chin is fine. Chris Curtis knocked him out cold first time they fought, landed some really good shots, and Brendan Allen was able to survive those type of shots. Brendan Allen has been smoking everybody. He's been wanting these high-level guys because he knows that he is improving. Every time we see Brendan Allen, he is a better Brendan Allen than the fight before, still only 28 years old. Now you're going to say, but Jacob, Imavov's a better striker. You're probably right, right? You're probably right. He probably is the better striker. But Angelo actually mentioned it, and I'm not surprised because Angelo knows what's going on as well sometimes. It's a lot of emptiness in an Imavov fight. There is just a lot of emptiness. He will just kind of wait. If you pressure him against the fence, just like I said about fucking Leon Edwards, no sense of urgency, right? There's no sense of urgency for this guy to win minutes. There's no sense of urgency for this guy to win rounds. There's no sense of urgency for this guy to get off the fence. I rewatched that Imavov Jared Cannonier fight this morning, right? 40-year-old fucking Jared Cannonier, which is probably the best win of Imavov's career up to this point. Jared Cannonier's a pretty good fighter. I thought he lost the first fucking 3 rounds. 2 judges had Jared Cannonier up 2-1 after 3 fucking rounds. And I thought because of a little 15 seconds flurry at the end of the second round, that's what kind of stole the round for him. He was down 3-0 to a fucking 40-year-old Jared Cannonier. What also happened in that fight? Jared Cannonier got him down against the fence where Imavov just lazily is exposing his back. Brendan Allen doesn't need takedowns to get your fucking back. And if you get your fucking back, it's a fucking problem. Now, he couldn't get Chris Curtis because Chris Curtis has these fucking boulder shoulders and just fucking, like, it was early in the fight and he was just basically playing all defense. But Imavov, I have to imagine, is going to try to get back to his feet. If he gives up his back, it's a big fucking problem. I believe the finishing upside is in Brendan Allen. I think the grappling is in Brendan Allen. I believe Imavov, although he's not a bitch and won't quit, he does slow down even after the first round of fights. If I was game planning for Brendan Allen, I would go all in on the wrestling, grappling, trust your cardio. You don't even have to get the takedowns. He will let you hold you against the fence, take the pop out of his shots. Imavov already just loses minutes after minutes in fights. That's why he was losing that fight to Jared Cannonier. His best win, he pulled a rabbit out of the hat to be able to get that, even though it was probably going to be 2-2 going into the 5th. It's only a 3-round fight. I think that actually might benefit Brendan Allen if he wants to kind of go real aggressive with the wrestling early. I just think Brendan Allen is improving every single fight, and Imavov just takes his time too much. Brendan Allen's going to be the aggressor, and if it comes down to a decision, Brendan Allen's going to win that decision, and I think he can find a finish as well.
Yeah, listen, I picked Imavov to win, but I mentioned it is with low confidence because
I
respect
keep seeing
Brendan.
too, just real quick, because Beth's starting to piss me the fuck off. 40-year-old Jared Cannonier knocks out Brendan Allen 1. Brendan Allen submits Jared Cannonier inside of 2 fucking minutes.
Bet Sam, idiot.
Stupid bitch. See how I can just say wild stuff too and just pretend it's true?
Yeah, that is interesting. Interesting move. Comment section, Jake. Listen, I appreciate Brendan Allen, his evolution, how good he's gotten. He's improved. He made his mistakes when he made them. I mean, remember when that fight with Punahil Soriano, what a joke that fight was? But he made the adjustments. I mentioned he was a pendulum. too heavy in the grappling, then way too heavy in the striking, and now he's somewhere in between where he mixes it in well. High-level coaching, been at the gym for a while. 28, which is like perfect for fighting, right? He's not old yet, and he's not a young kid. I hear you. I agree with all of that. I just think Nasruddin is the better striker by this, just a hair, and I think he can defend the takedowns. Nasruddin's a good wrestler. Like Jared Cannonier's...
You can be the better striker and lose fights very often.
Sure. And listen, I said low confidence, but Jared Cannonier had success against Nasruddin because also a 40-year-old, dude, he was coming off that win over Marvin Vettori, which was one of the greatest performances. He literally set records in that fight. One of the best performances we've ever seen. So that pressure was nuts. Brendan Allen has never had that kind of pressure that Jared Cannonier has had. So I do think it's an unfair comparison there. But I don't hate the Brendan Allen pick, but
well, I want to bring it up too because I've seen a lot of people talk about Brendan. Oh, he hasn't really fought. Who's he fought?
That's bullshit. Remember when he smoked that jiu-jitsu nerd that everybody loved?
Well, I don't disagree that he hasn't fought, but he's fought and he smoked pretty much everyone that they put in front of him. He's always asked for tougher people. Imavov's fucking fought nobody too. He's fucking fought nobody. He lost to or he beat one of his best wins is against a 170 Buckley. Like, that's one of his best wins in a 40-year-old Jared Cannonier that he was losing the striking battles to. He was getting held against the cage and doing nothing about it.
He was beating up Curtis before that headbutt.
I think that he was surprising Curtis with the success with the wrestling, and that got Curtis a little bit flustered. Because Curtis had never been taken down before. Also, he's taken down a few times. He's like, oh, shit, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. And kind of lost the flow, and he's not going to be shooting takedowns with Brendan Allen.
No, and to Brendan Allen's credit, he was an underdog against Andre Muniz, submitted that dude. And Andre Muniz was supposed to be like jiu-jitsu's gift to the world. Then, the Chris Curtis fight, the rematch, it was a close competitive fight. If he doesn't blow his hamstring, maybe he goes away. But to your point, he's fighting everybody he's supposed to fight, and he's looking good doing it.
And that fight, people try to give him shit for that 5-round fight. That was a 5-round fight against a somewhat weird short notice situation to where I can't remember who he was supposed to fight. But it was like a weird situation, but he still took the fight. He gutted out, won the fourth and fifth round, I think, to be able to win that fight. Showed that he can take a shot, get a takedown, even if he gets wobbled, because Chris wobbled him and he was able to get a takedown. I mean, I think he showed a lot of heart in that fucking fight.
And there had to be a mental aspect there where this dude knocked him unconscious. And he's like, I got to fight him, get over it. So, listen, we are on we didn't pick the same fighter, but I 100% see where you're coming from. And this isn't a hill I'm going to die on. I picked Nasruddin Imavov by this much. And not all picks are the same, and I don't have any money on him because minus 210 is absurd. He's not that much better than Brett. Minus 210 is crazy. I'm shocked it was minus 175 and then widened. But that's where we are today. If you do like Brendan Allen, then for DraftKings Fantasy, it makes a ton of sense at $7,300. Nasruddin Imavov makes 0 cents at $8,900. Never did. Doesn't make sense. He's not a high-scoring guy. He just does not make... It's only 3 rounds, not 5. He doesn't make sense at these odds. He doesn't make sense at that money in DraftKings Fantasy. So full fade on the Nasruddin side. If you do want to check out who will be in our DraftKings Fantasy lineups. If you do want to check out who the artificial picks... or who the artificial intelligence did pick to win, you can do so now. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. It's only $10 for an entire month. Next up, at UFC Paris, we have our main event of the evening. We have 2 pretty exciting guys that are going to be battling it out for a divisional ranking. We have Renato Moicano at 19-5 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that big win at UFC 300, taking on Benoit Saint-Denis, 13-2 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that loss to Dustin Poirier at UFC 299. Renato Moicano, by this point, we know, very, very good BJJ black belt. He's also a technical striker, but he has no offensive power, and his chin can't hang in a firefight. He's definitely very chinny, but he is tough as nails. He averages about 2 takedowns per fight, 45% takedown accuracy. Doesn't have the cleanest takedowns, but he will move forward. He will walk through fire and try to get these fights to the ground. He's coming off that come-from-behind win at UFC 300 where Jalen Turner dropped him real bad, turned around, walked away like he was going to get a walk-off, and all it did was give Renato a couple seconds to get back up, And basically, it was an adrenaline dump for Jalen, came out in the second round, just was not able to put it back together. And ultimately, he got taken down and finished. He's taken on Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis is a freak. All gas, no brakes, crazy forward pressure, strong wrestler, well-timed shots, a ton of pressure on top. If he ends up on top, he will bomb away on his feet. He will kick. He will punch. He will move forward. He'll slam you to the ground. He never stops. His whole thing was French Special Forces, youngest guy ever to be in the French Special Forces. He's not a guy that has any quit in him, all that stuff. And I don't necessarily disagree with any of that stuff. He is sloppy, though. He's like a Dricus du Plessis with not as good of cardio as a whole. Pretty sloppy, just moving forward, making stuff happen, getting it done. And what's interesting is both of these gentlemen's last fights, he's coming off that loss to Dustin Poirier where he beat the absolute shit out of Dustin Poirier. Beat the shit out of that guy just to eat a big one and then get finished in the second round. They've had their last fight is exactly the same, just mirror images. Renato Moicano got the shit kicked out of him and then came back and won. Benoit Saint-Denis did the shit kicking and then lost. And if you believe that Benoit had a staph infection and it was really bad, he was on antibiotics, and that's why, well, then this is the easiest pick of your entire life because Renato Moicano was chinny and not near as good as Dustin Poirier. But if you think that was just kind of, an easy excuse after the fact and Benoit just lost to one of the best lightweights on the planet, well, then that's a whole different situation. Renato Moicano has proven to be a tough guy that doesn't quit. I don't think it's going to matter. I just don't think he has a good enough chin for this to work because Benoit, even if Renato has some success early, Benoit's just going to be there bombing away minute after minute. Benoit Saint-Denis is the pick. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, this is a pretty simple fight to break down, in my opinion. It's going to be BSD comes across and gets an early KO, which I think everyone is like, oh, well, that's what's going to happen. It's pretty obvious. And if it does happen, I don't think anybody is going to be surprised by that, right? I'm going to pick against that, but I'm not going to be surprised if it happens because I'm going to pick Moicano. I don't have any money on Moicano as of yet, but the reason I'm picking Moicano is I believe that he is going to get the takedown. He can take people down. BSD, as Angel mentioned, is a very sloppy dude. He doesn't bring his feet with him when he's throwing strikes, and Moicano is pretty good at timing takedowns. And if he doesn't time takedowns, Moicano's got some pretty good takedowns. Now, BSD is not a guy, let me be very clear, he's not a guy that's just going to stay on his fucking back, right? This isn't going to be like Moicano takes down Drew Dober. Oh, he's just going to ride him out on top, not doing much, but he's just going to lay on top. He's probably not going to lay on top of Benoit Saint-Denis, but Benoit Saint-Denis is going to work back to try to get back to his feet. It's going to be in those type of transitions, whoever is going to win those transitions. When Moicano gets a takedown, if he doesn't get knocked out, let me just keep saying that because if people are going to be like, ugh, I understand he can't get knocked down. If he gets the takedowns that I believe that he's going to get, and BSD starts scrambling, who is going to win those scrambles? Is BSD going to be able to constantly get out of harm's way, get back to his feet, and do more damage? If so, he's going to win the fight. But I believe Moicano, being this high-level guy, and BSD's really high sense of urgency to get back to his feet, almost like a Morgan Charriere fly situation, right? To where if you trust your grappling and you don't take your fucking time to get back to your feet, these high-level guys can find you. They can get on your back. And if there's anybody that can be a little snake in there and in these scrambles find a nice situation for either submission or get to a more advantageous position where if Moicano gets on Benoit Saint-Denis' back, I think he can probably stand there or stay there. I just feel like Moicano is going to win those scramble type situations. So if he comes in, he gets knocked out, it is what it is. I don't have any money on him, but as a pick, I think he's going to get the takedowns, and I think he's going to win those scrambles. And Benoit Saint-Denis, his aggression and urgency to get back to his feet is ultimately going to be his downfall. He's even kind of a sloppy grappler, too. He'll just kind of explode. He'll just try to explode out of stuff, and Moicano's not a guy to fuck around with on the ground. So I'm going to go Moicano here with the upset. No money yet, but I just think he wins the scrambles.
Yeah, this is a fight where I completely disagree. Like, I get Moicano's tough. We saw it in the Jalen Turner fight. But if Jalen Turner didn't turn around and just followed him to the ground and landed the lightest.
He wasn't that hurt. Dude, he got dropped, but he was fine. His eyes were fine. He was looking right at him.
If Jalen Turner followed him to the ground and lands one or two more shots,
he would just hold it. No, he would just held on to him. He really wasn't that hurt if you watch it.
I mean, I don't. I'll have to watch it again.
He really wasn't that hurt. He definitely dropped, but he went back and he was looking right at me. He wasn't like, he was like, ugh.
Yeah. And then Benoit Saint-Denis he hits too hard. He's too unrelenting. To your point, he's not going to accept positions. He's not going to quit. He's not going to back. Like, the dude is just going to come forward.
I hope he throws that first liver kick. Moicano catches the kick, takes him down, submits him immediately.
I'm not even worried about that dumb shit. I'm worried about some spinning bullshit for no reason. Because that happens. Random spinning nonsense. So he knocked out Fly. He smoked Dustin Poirier for 5 minutes. Just beat
He didn't really beat him that bad.
He tossed him around,
him down. Dustin
him.
was holding on to guillotines for a while.
And look at Dustin, his ability to defend Islam's takedowns. And he couldn't defend all those Benoit
Don't be
takedowns.
silly. Jump the gilly. I picked Moicano.
I got you. Yeah, well, we're on opposite sides of this one. If you want to spend your $9,000 on DraftKings Fantasy, well, Benoit Saint-Denis has 5 rounds. I do not think this goes the full 5. Although Benoit is crazy tough. We watched him against Elizu Zaleski take the worst beating we've ever seen in this sport. There wasn't the referee fired that night for not stopping the fight.
It was really bad. It was really bad. Yeah. And he has no effects from that. Like, even that Dustin shot I think that was more of like with the staff and antibiotics.
And he was running forward.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit gassed too. When you're gassed, you get a little bit more chinny and stuff. Considering the beating that he took in that fight, Jesus.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's that special forces mindset. He's got no quit in him. That is the only, because if Benoit wins, it's not a decision. He finishes Moicano. If Moicano wins, he could win a decision because Benoit's just so insanely tough and he could just get taken down and beat up a little bit. So I am pretty confident in the under 4.5, but nothing's a guarantee in this sport. What I can guarantee you, though, is that our $10 offering at WeWantPicks.com, the best offering in this space, period, end of story. You can check out all the picks, the bets, the round line leans, and more right now. We do have a $4.99 super chat from Double A. Been trying to ask you guys this for a while, but never catch you live. Do you guys pay the 9% fee on Bet Online? I want to somehow avoid that. How to? Because Bitcoin. They have all sorts of different. I haven't deposited in a while. I deposited to do that $1,000 Michael Chandler bet, and then I got all that money back.
What a shit bet that was.
And then I got all the dude. Didn't we bet? Don't you owe me $500 because I said Conor McGregor is never fighting again? And you were like,
we gotta wait.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Double A, they have all sorts of bonuses for how you deposit. If you pay with a credit, if you deposit with a credit card, then yeah, they have to pay that fee, so you're paying the fee. But if you deposit with Bitcoin, they'll match it and they waive all the fees. And Bitcoin's not hard to do. You can do it through Cash App. Yeah, you can do it with Cash App. You can do it with Coinbase. It costs you nothing. Super easy. So I deposit with Bitcoin and then withdraw with Bitcoin.
Buy my crypto. It's called the Salamander Stance. We're gonna pump that shit up.
You should do that. Get Hamzat to push that out there.
Wow, you'd never say that to his face, just like you were backtracking versus Isaac. Jesus Christ.
That's what's so funny. I did not backtrack versus Isaac. He was like, "What?" He's like, "What more could I have done?" And I said, "You could have finished in the first round." That's not backtracking.
You said it wasn't dominant enough, and Angel's like, "Oh, I think you're a great wrestler. I think that there's these boring wrestlers, but you're not one of those boring wrestlers."
I didn't even say it to his face. I said that in a separate video. He's not a boring wrestler. I never said he was boring. Dude, he was butthurt because I said he should have finished a guy like that, a guy who has been finished in the first round.
He literally was being told not to finish him.
Okay, but that was not information I had when I said it's crazy he didn't finish him in the first round.
You could hear Yusuf the entire fight if you even watched the fight. I'm not even sure you watched the fight.
I watched it on my couch, and I was furious, and I wanted to throw the remote.
I had Isaac by sub.
Congratulations on all your... I made money that week. So even though Isaac blew out the safety parlay, I still made money that week. So
you said my live chat, he's not subbing him, he sucks.
Oh, I was furious. I turned into you. This guy sucks.
I don't ever talk about fight. These fighters put their lives on the fucking line. I would never talk about fighters like that. I respect all fighters.
That is true. You are just a genuine dude in that regard.
That's why all the fighters like me. I don't know if there's one fighter that likes you.
Yeah, I mean, they do like you. You make them highlight reels, so that'll do it.
Respectful.
I'm respectful as well. I'm the more respectful of the two of us.
Literally not.
No, because there's certain fighters that you are high on, so you're nice to them. But you say some wild shit.
No,
This guy sucks.
Even Brian Battle, I said I hate Brian Battle, but he's a great guy. He's improving. He's a tough son of a bitch. I'm always respectful.
Okay, I will find examples. I mean, the chat will figure it out. They know what you are. Here's some recent betting success, guys. If you're
Bo Nickel fucking sucks, dude. Somebody said Bo Nickel in the fucking chat. That dude's a fucking bum, dude. He's going to get submitted so quickly by Paul Craig. Holy shit. Bo, don't fall into a triangle. The dude grappled Craig Jones for 3 minutes and fucking falls into a fucking armbar triangle. Guy's a bum.
Well, here's some recent betting success. If you're like, I don't know if I should be a premium member. But
Seems
hey,
like a
it's
great guy, though.
Bo? He does seem like a good dude. It's only $10 for an entire month. And here's the last month of membership. The last 4 events, 1 month of membership, 11 units of net profit. And that includes some losses. Jacob didn't make net money on the last card, but made so much money on the 3 cards before that.
Oh, they're going to overturn it.
It covered. I missed safety parlay, and I still made money on these events. These are not an accident. This isn't some lucky streak. Week in and week out, winning bets. But it's not just bets. You're going to get tools on premium membership. The data analyzer has everything you could ever need when you do your own research, and it is loaded all the way out to UFC 309. This is not just the next event. It is every single event on the board on the UFC website. You're also going to get the Prop Hunter, a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. You're going to get the line movement tracker. This will give you the opening odds, current odds, win probability, and the line movement for every fighter on every card. You're going to get the DraftKings Optimizer, which builds DraftKings lineups for you. You're going to get Artie Baby, giving you his Dana White Contender Series picks, bets, and breakdowns, PFL, Bellator as well, and the artificial intelligence that is picking fights based solely off of historical data. All of that, only $10 for an entire month's worth of access. That's UFC Paris, UFC 307, and the 2 fight nights after that. Any last words for the peeps?
You think this is a good one to post?
You took that. Yeah, that's a good picture. When did you take that?
Or something more like, this was kind of going to...
This is like Scream where you're just swiping. How about this one? And he's just in his underwear? No? Okay. How about this one? Not Scream, Scary Movie. Okay.
What about this?
This one? Okay.
That's my guy.
Yeah, this is... Dude, look at that. Look at that. Is that a do-rag? Does he have a do-rag on?
Well, he's got the braids in. Got to get those waves, baby.
Yeah, crazy. Dude, Brendan Allen's a different kind of guy. Yeah, all right, so California Surfer in this one, and then do-rag under the hair machine in the last one. Like, guy doesn't know what he is.
Shut the
and now
fuck up.
now he's Shavkat Rakhmonov in this one. This guy has no idea what he is. He has no idea what he wants to be. Am I a striker? Am I a grappler? Where am I from? What do I do? How do I live?
What about this
Am
guy?
I going to attack Marvin Vettori in the lobby or not? Is that Cub Swanson? Look at that. It's Cub Swanson.
That's fly, baby. You guys want to see a picture of Angelo in high school real quick? I don't know why you're laughing.
I don't know what you're about to show, but if you watched my recent hot takes video, there were pictures of me in high school.
Oh, speaking of hot takes, I know your favorite place growing up was Hot Topic. This was Angelo and he's laughing, but you can see it.
I promise you there was never an emo phase.
Same nose, guys.
No, it isn't.
Well, look straight at the camera.
I've got a giant nose. That is not me. That's a petite little nose. Anyway, we appreciate
you ever
you
go
guys.
on a Hot Topic and check out those dildos?
All right. Over 400 of you watch live. We appreciate every last one of you. Hopefully, was she doing NFL?
I didn't know she did it. I was watching. I had all the games on. I was like, holy shit. And then I texted, name drop here. I texted Minty. And I was like, because I'm a big Megan O'Leary fan. And I was like, oh my God, it's Megan O'Leary. She was like, yeah. I guess after the Sphere, the next day, she was somewhere doing NFL. She flew out that
That's at
morning.
Fox, so she doesn't even only work for the ESPN.
It was a Fox broadcast. She was in Cleveland, looking
Damn.
good as always.
Good for her. She's probably great for that because she is a professional.
She's great,
and she's not like she's very pretty, but it's not like, hey, we just got a hot chick on the sideline, so you could stare at her and go say some nonsense.
I sent a voice memo to Minty that she played for Megan O'Leary, and she really appreciated it. I sent a nice little message. I was like, hey Megan, I'm a big fan. I think you do a great job, and I wish that you were on the UFC weigh-in show more. And Minty played it for her, and she was like, "Oh my god, thank you."
I mean, you hear this? You guys hear this absolute dweeb? All right? Ooh, the fighters like me more. Sending love messages. We'll see you, nerds.